This is Pre-Tection. Yep, Pre-Tection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist-recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
You're listening to The Adam Gold Show.
I just don't know about a long-term situation for Jake Gensel. So it might be one of those ones that, you're sad you don't get it done, but 2 years from now, you might look back and say, well, maybe we're better off. And again, it's not a knock on Gensel. I think he's a really good player. I just worry about smaller players that have miles on them. But, the flip side of that is that the Hurricanes are close, and you'd like to get over the hump, and now you're back to square one without a player that can help drive your offense.
Hi everyone, it's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria is here. Welcome to your Friday. Wait, it's Wednesday. Yes, a lot of us are staring at a 4-day weekend. Some of us.
And then some of us are kind of like a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, but you come in here, there's not going to be anybody here on Friday, right?
Yeah, but when you still have to come to work and you're working, it's like, yeah, I'm still working.
Right, like during the hockey season, when everybody's excited for a weekend and the Hurricanes play Saturday and Sunday.
Right, and you're like, okay, yeah.
I mean, I got stuff to do.
All right, yeah.
Especially with on the road. Like if it's like I actually dig if the weekend games in like LA or San Jose or Vancouver, if those are on a weekend, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday, nah, it sucks.
Yeah. So yeah.
That was EJ Raddick talking about the departure of Jake Gensel to Tampa.
Yeah. Which people on Twitter, Tampa Twitter trolls are out big time.
Are they? Why would they be? They should be happy.
They should be happy. I don't know. Reading and comprehension is really difficult for some people. But it's, I have my opinion. Look, when you are a fan of a team and that person is not on your team anymore, they're the opponent. You can wish them well. Like, it's not like I'm wishing him, bad things, but he's not a Cane.
Right.
So I want him to lose.
Yeah, okay. I'm good with that.
How is this difficult for people to understand? Yeah, so I don't know. If you want to see that excitement, that's on Twitter.
All right. Well,
But that's fine. Look, people got to complain about something.
Yes, that's why we're here. That is absolutely why we're here. Yeah. And we're also, I know there are people who are going to be happy about this, there's no soccer today.
Whoa.
Well, there's MLS soccer today.
Okay. Wow. I'm surprised because we've had a lot of soccer lately.
Well, we've had Copa America and the European Championships going on at the same time. Mm-hmm. But we are there's a little bit of a break. Copa America just finished group play yesterday.
And then it picks up
I got
this
both
weekend,
games right, by the way.
Oh, look at you go.
No, I didn't, but actually use it myself. But I hope people are taking the advice.
Hey.
I'm going at about 60% right now on soccer.
Right.
So please, I'm trying to help.
Yeah. It picks up this weekend, though, right? Back up?
Well, yes. Copa America, the quarterfinals start tomorrow, Argentina and Ecuador. Just one quarterfinal match a day. European Championship, I think it's Friday, where their next round, because they just finished the round of 16, their next round starts with 2 matches, I think, on Friday. So they're down to the quarterfinals. Friday and Saturday, I believe, are the quarterfinals. 2 matches each day, and then we get to the semifinals like 3-4 days later. Blah, 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 blah. So there you go. And somehow England, France, Portugal, without playing well, are all still alive.
Oh, interesting.
So you can do that if you
In
have
some sports?
super talented rosters,
okay.
which the United States can have to figure out how to do. Charlotte FC, by the way, tonight is home to Inter Miami, who will not have Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Or Luis Suarez.
Oh,
they're missing two superstars who are both busy otherwise in Copa America.
Yeah.
Suarez for Uruguay and Messi, of course, for Argentina.
Oh, well, and I'll be out in Cary this weekend for the NCFC
I heard.
game.
Look.
I
here.
know, right?
I got
You're
an
sporting it
NCFC shirt
already.
on. Very nice. Yeah. What is the deal?
Well, it's a game, so I'll be out there. There's going to be fan fest, all kinds of good stuff, and it's going to be later in the evening, so hopefully we won't melt. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
Sundown. I went on with our friends down at WFNZ today.
Oh, nice.
And I just kind of floated because everybody's mad about the men's national team.
Yeah.
So I just kind of floated with absolutely zero inside information here. None.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally making this up out of whole cloth. Dean Smith, the manager, head coach, Charlotte FC,
Mm-hmm.
my choice to replace Greg Berhalter.
Oh, I see. Throw it out there.
As I said that, I went, wait a second. That would actually be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of dig Dean Smith, not to mention his name is Dean Smith, because that's fun.
Exactly, not the other Dean
But
Smith.
he is legitimately a very good manager and has done a great job with Charlotte FC. So, that's my choice to replace Greg Berhalter. Dean Smith. Who says no?
Did the guys agree?
No, actually, Mac was mad.
Oh, no.
Mac was like, don't you take our guy.
Oh, I see.
Bone is off climbing a mountain somewhere.
Yeah, with Mabel.
Mac was mad. All right, let's start. Not joking. Actually, the more I said it out loud, I was like, that's a pretty good idea.
The more you like it.
I did. I absolutely do like it. All right, after the initial wave of NHL, the free agent spigot, it has finally kind of slowed to just a little bit of a trickle. In the last couple of days, Pavel Buchnevich, 6 years, $8 million? I think it's 6 years, $8 million with St. Louis. $8 million a year player, really?
Wow.
Okay. Hey, whatever. Cam Atkinson. Remember back in the day when Cam Atkinson was a thing? Philadelphia bought him out. Tampa. 1 year, $900,000. Huh. That might have been worth it. Never mind. Shane Pinto, a restricted free agent, re-signs with the Ottawa Senators. 2 years, $3.75 million. He's a really good player. He's had some issues, but he is a really good player. Anton Lundell with the Florida Panthers, re-signed 6 years, $5 million per. Hurricanes, by the way, made official the William Carrier signing just a few moments ago because people had actually asked me, wait a second, there's no official word, nothing on the Canes website. Today, William Carrier, 6 years, $2 million a year for the Hurricanes. And they also signed Corey Stillman's son, Riley Stillman, today.
Okay.
To a two-way contract. He is a left-shot defenseman, can play with a little edge to him, which is nice. Except my guess is, not my guess, he's not an NHL player. He's sort of like an emergency NHL player. He's primarily a minor leaguer. He's been around for a while, probably 6 or 7 years, toiling. He's played a lot of NHL games, so he's got some experience. But you need guys who have played in the league before in your minor leagues because there will be injuries. So I actually like this move for Carolina to add organizational depth, and that's where Riley Skinner, former Wake Forest quarterback, Riley Stillman will end up. Now, the only thing we're waiting on for the Hurricanes, other than whatever trades they might be able to make maybe to improve goaltending, maybe to find a right-handed center, or whatever. We're waiting on Seth Jarvis, Jack Drury, Martin Necas. In the case of the first two, contract. In the case of the latter, I'd like a contract, but obviously the potential of a trade is still sitting there. So that's what we're waiting on there. All right, to the NBA. Which, by the way, because we haven't gotten into NBA free agency a ton, there's been a lot of moves, and there's been a lot of money thrown around. Holy cow, can the NBA throw around? No league throws around money like the NBA. Unbelievable. Yeah. We talked yesterday about Jason Tatum, $314 million over 5 years. Oh, it's just insane.
Other professional athletes are like, I picked the wrong sport.
Insane. Gosh, I wish I was 6'7".
Yeah,
that's
me
all
too.
That's all I'm gonna say. I wish I was 6'7". Anyway, yeah. And if you're the NHL, look, the big contracts, the $9 million a year deal for Jake Gensel. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's like last guy on the bench in the end. That's just what it is. Sorry, the sport generates so much money and they can only pay so many players. Yesterday, the Los Angeles Lakers introduced their draft class to the LA media. And, of course, their draft class is just two players. It's Dalton Knecht, scorer from Tennessee. They got 17th overall. And the most famous and, to a certain extent, the most controversial second-round pick in NBA history, they reveal Bronny James to the media.
For me, I always try to put that narrative of me trying to get my name out for myself. But just coming in and trying to get better, Rob has told me that there's a great development system here. So I just want to come in and get my work in and get better every day. I never really had a thought of, me going to play with my dad, but that's always, there to take part of. But that wasn't a main focus of mine to do.
All right, so he also thanked the Lakers for giving him this opportunity, and here is his head coach, J.J. Redick.
With Bronny, I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this, right? Bronny talks about his hard work. Bronny has earned this through hard work, and for us, prioritizing player development, we view Bronny as like case study one because his base level of feel, athleticism, point of attack defender, shooting, passing, there's a lot to like about his game. And as we sort of build out our player development program holistically, he's going to have a great opportunity to become an excellent NBA player.
All right. I want you to remember what J.J. Redick said there. I'm not criticizing J.J. Redick here. Bronny has earned this through hard work. He's obviously put the time in, blah, blah, blah. By the way, James got a 4-year contract, $7.9 million, guaranteed. That's not $7.9 per year. It's a 4-year, $7.9 million deal. I think that's unusual for a second-round pick. Like, before we even get to Summer League, he's got a guaranteed contract. Again, I think that's unusual for a second-round pick. Chris Canty from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN.
He earned it based on what? How did he earn this? He had 4 points. He was averaging 4 points coming off the bench at USC. How did he earn this opportunity? If not for being LeBron James' son, how did he earn this opportunity? What is the evidence? Please point it out. Anybody, show me where he earned this. In college basketball, there are 18,000 players in any given year. Only 60 draft picks. There have only been 5,000 players to have ever played in the NBA. How did Bronny James, based on his body of work, what he did in high school and what he did in 1 year at USC, earn the opportunity to be drafted into the NBA? How?
I get the anger. Okay, I get it, because on the surface, it seems this is stupid. On the surface, yes, it does. Like, what are we doing? But I am curious if Chris Canty could put himself in this position. Could Chris Canty, if his son got drafted in the middle rounds of an NFL draft or in the 6th round of an NFL draft, if Chris Canty would appreciate if another former athlete had that take, because, first of all, your college statistical data could not mean less. Look at what Corey Maggette averaged as a Duke freshman in I believe it was 99. Look at what Maggette averaged as a Duke freshman and was, I think, the 10th player selected in the draft. He didn't start at Duke, by the way. It doesn't matter what your stats are in college. And by the way, extenuating circumstances at USC, like, he had a cardiac event, right, that set everything back. Did he play? Yeah, he played. But his season got off to, we'll just say, a rocky start. So I am just curious if Canty could step out of the sports radio space for a second and understand that you earn it in different ways. Again, on the surface, this looks like, what in the hell are the Lakers doing? I get it. But it's, there's no question that because he's LeBron James' kid, he is going to get an opportunity that others aren't going to get. Show me where this is unique to American society. Please, I'm begging. I'm begging somebody to show me where this is unique. It's not. It's par for the course, man. We have just 2-putted from 15 feet. All right, let me get one more thing in before we have an early Chip Patterson appearance today, and I could not be more excited just because it's always fun to talk with Chip. So the earlier in the show we get to it, the better. Jordan Martinook is going to join us in hour number 2. WNBA All-Star Game is coming. Actually, I don't even know the date, but it's got to be coming soon. They announced the rosters today. It is the U.S. Olympic team against the WNBA All-Stars that are not.
It'll be the 20th.
The 20th of this month.
Yes.
Good. I'm looking forward to that now. Because the best of the rest of the WNBA, which is a hell of a team, against the U.S. Olympic basketball team, which obviously also hell of a team, means that Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese will be teammates.
Look at that.
For the first time ever, they will play on the same team. So we know about Clark and all of her offense and all of the exploits and all of the three-point shooting, which until the last couple of games was really trending in the right direction. I mean, she was about a little bit more than 50% over, I think, her previous 5 games. Last 2 have not been awesome, and they got smoked last night by Las Vegas. But on the low, Angel Reese has been a machine. The last time she did not have a double-double was June 1st. What's today's date?
It is July 3rd.
June 1st, last time she did not have a double-double. She had at least double-digit rebounds every game in the month of June. It is incredible, and Angel Reese was excited.
Well, we won today. But they just told me I'm an all-star. And, I mean, I'm just so happy. I know the work I put in. Coming into this league, so many people doubted me and didn't think my game would translate and I wouldn't be the player that I was in college or better or would be worse and wouldn't be where I am right now. But I trusted the process and I believed, and I'm thankful that I dropped to 7 and was able to come to Chicago, and it's just a blessing. I can't thank my teammates and my coaches enough for just believing in me and trusting me. And look, I know all of them are going to come to Phoenix and support me, so I'm really happy right now.
She was the 2nd draft pick for the Chicago Sky. Camila Cardoso from South Carolina, I think, was the 2nd overall pick. She's been amazing. She's got a very meat and potatoes game. There's not a lot of there's really no frills. She doesn't shoot threes. She's attempted 2 threes since the end of May. Attempted 2 threes. She didn't make them. She's a rebounder, first and foremost. She will score around the goal. I mean, there's nothing fancy at all to her game, but boy, is she good, and I can't wait. This game, by the way, the Fever and the Las Vegas Aces played in front of 20,000 people last night in Las Vegas.
Fever won that game last night, didn't they?
They got
did not?
smoked.
Oh, no. I was at a concert, so I didn't watch it.
They got
But it'll be fun to see those two girls together because where Angel lacks, Caitlyn excels, and vice versa. So it'd be a good teammate.
See, I'm looking at it from a social experiment. I want to see them on the same team.
Yeah, same.
I do think that it would be good. It would be good for the game to see them together in that setting.
Right.
But yeah, I cannot wait to watch that game though.
Yeah.
Because so far, I've probably seen, I don't know, anywhere from 7 to 10 WNBA games this year. They play an incredibly high level. Incredibly high level of basketball. All right, speaking of high level, Chip Patterson will join us when we come back. We are 3 weeks away from the ACC Football Media Day. We will get into it with Chip Patterson next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Free agency in the NHL, a lot of the dust has settled, but the Canes have left me with one more question. Who's going to score on the second line? Who's going to score on the second line for the Carolina Hurricanes? Because at some point, your defensive system can work, your top line can be awesome, but you need production from that second line. I'm worried.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
On average, people spend over a third of their life sleeping, yet most sleep disorders go undiagnosed.
I'm Megan Gigling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sleep struggles left untreated can lead to health problems and have a serious effect on your quality of life. We've served the Triangle for 20 years. Let us help you get the sleep you've been dreaming of.
If you're in need of a sleep study, a knowledgeable doctor, CPAP machine, or supplies, Parkway has you covered. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep. Sound health.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Did your mobile provider just increase their prices again? Switch to Spectrum Mobile, the nation's fastest growing mobile provider. With Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G. Switching to Spectrum Mobile has never been easier. We'll pay off your phone balance up to $2,500. Stop dealing with price hikes from your cell phone company. Get Spectrum Mobile. Visit spectrum.com/itpays to switch for full details. Offer subject to change. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
New $80 million cash blowout and triple red sevens mean new winners. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds winning range from 1 in 4.28 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Charlie did not die from an overdose. Charlie was poisoned.
Websites and social media selling fake medicines may look legitimate, but they're not.
He died in less than 15 minutes after taking the pill.
Any medication not purchased from a licensed pharmacy could be deadly.
No other family should go through this. It's just horrific.
Go to safe.pharmacy. Learn about fake medicine on social media and if an online pharmacy is safe.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
This is Adam Gold.
Victoria, you played sports in high school, right?
Oh, yeah. Basketball, and I swam.
Could you imagine competing for $1 million?
No.
$1 million.
No. I competed for plastic trophies.
I was also a high school athlete, baseball player. No, and I could never even imagine it.
No.
The Adam Gold Show.
The 4-day weekend is about to start, so let's kick it off. It's a Wednesday, it's a Friday at the same time. I love it. Wednesday's always my favorite day. When it's coupled with the last day of the week, it's even better. It's like a Wednesday on steroids. Chip Patterson, my friend, CBSSports.com. Cover 3 podcast. Before we get into whatever it is we're going to get into, tell me your 4th of July plan.
So, safety first, right? Safety first.
Are you a fireworks guy?
I am not the fireworks guy.
Right.
My next door neighbor is a fireworks guy.
Nobody has dogs, I guess.
And there actually is, it's cool. I lived in a house from 2012 to 2019, moved away. Then when I had 2 children, needed more space, came back, built it bigger for the children.
Right.
And none of my neighbors changed. So I came back with kids, and all of their kids got older. But when COVID hit, especially that summer of 2020, they developed a really cool relationship with each other, all those different families, and a lot of outdoor play.
Sure.
And apparently an epic 2020 fireworks show in the middle of the street. And the tradition has continued. And look, the place where they shoot them off is right outside my house. So I've got no choice here. You're going to be involved, but, safety first. But we'll be doing 4th of July. We'll be doing 4th of July fireworks in the neighborhood, then head down to Pinehurst for Friday and Saturday to enjoy the festivities in the village.
Oh, very, very nice. Very nice. Any other plans in the village of Pinehurst? Are we getting out onto, CCNC? What are we doing?
Well, listen, we might go hit up Thistledew. The 18-hole putting course with my 4-year-old. This pop into the. We have to sometimes take a break at the turn of the 18-hole putting course to go get peanut butter and jelly from the 91st hole.
Gosh,
take
that's
a
great.
break and then come back out. But Chase loves to be out there and just see everybody else. He feels like a golfer, even as it's just putting course. So we'll try to get that in if it's not too hot.
He's probably a good putter because 4-year-olds have no fear.
Yeah. Also, no respect for the rules or decorum.
Rules. Jack's gonna be 16. He still putts out a turn. He still walks all over my line. We'll get him out of that.
Walking all over the line, picking the ball up and dropping it 4 inches from the cup for your second shot. Yeah, all of it. It's right there.
All right, let's try to be serious. We're not going to be serious. We're never that serious. But let me ask you this question. We'll start here. 3 weeks from today, actually 3 weeks from Monday, for those people who are in. It was 3 weeks from Monday. Yeah, the commissioner speaks. Jim Phillips in Charlotte. ACC Media Days. What are we talking about 3 weeks from today in Charlotte?
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. On the field, Florida State. Off the field, Florida State. College football playoff, Florida State. Can we relitigate what happened in December? Florida State. I mean, but back in the day, what did we say? Talking about Knowles,
right?
And it's
gosh, they love it.
It makes me uncomfortable thinking that the commissioner in Florida State are both on day one Like, because that's the other thing is the other interesting storyline that you would have would be the Clemson Tigers, right?
Sure.
First time in a decade that they did not win 10 games in a season, a 4-4 conference record, something that is an anomaly when you look at much of the Clemson football for the last 15 years. But they're all the way at the end of the week. You know, you got to get through a whole lot of SMU and Syracuse before you're going to get all the way to even Clemson and North Carolina and NC State there at the end of the week. So right there, that Monday, it is going to be Florida State, Florida State, Florida State, future of the ACC. Is Florida State a part of it? I do not envy Commissioner Phillips, Dr. Commissioner Phillips, for his for what he is going to be facing in terms of the line of questioning when it comes to that commissioner's forum.
Yeah, that is the Q&A part of that is going to be interesting. He is, again, I've said this so many times. He is one of the nicest human beings ever. I have so much respect for him as a man. He could not be in a worse spot because he's got to defend. He's not defending the indefensible, right? It's not like the ACC has done anything wrong here. But because the league just doesn't have access to the monies that the Big Ten and the SEC have, he's put in a position of like defending a league that doesn't really need to be defended, mostly because Florida State and Clemson, and I'm sure there are others who would like to make more money, but really more so Florida State, has outwardly been hostile. I mean, I think Clemson's kind of just operating sort of, yeah, this is what we like and we might go do it, but Florida State's been like, F everybody throughout this whole process. I am curious how that arrogance is going to play this upcoming week because I've experienced it. We certainly experienced it online. They all believe that the ACC is intentionally holding them back. If that's the case, man, just go to court. Just go to court and win. But I don't really believe that Florida State's case is in any way strong enough to take a chance in court. They have to get a settlement. I don't think they're going to get one.
Well, all right, look, I do think we need to separate the tenor and the conversation from Florida State fans online from what's happening in the courtrooms, from the day-to-day function of Florida State athletics.
Those are all different. I wasn't just talking about Florida State fans.
Right,
online.
but Michael Alford even, the table was set at the spring meetings, which were very cordial. I mean, it's just that Danny Canales was there, Cover 3 podcast co-host, and he said, I was stunned at how normal everything was. And
Danny's in a tough spot. Nobody's carried the flag for the ACC more than Danny.
True. I don't know. Has he carried the flag for the ACC, or was he just the one that was calling shenanigans on the SEC Love Fest?
Yes. I'm saying yes to both.
But I think that from, athletic director Michael Alford, head coach Mike Norvell, like they really can go about their business of we are focused on the 2024 football season. We are here for the 2024 football season, and these are the things that we're trying to do. But, Mike Norvell, he really can't. It is a waste of his energies to try to think about what's happening in the courtroom.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that because we do have that separation, Jim Phillips is going to say, well, there's a legal team. We are defending, we are defending one of our primary documents that binds us all together. But that's not what I am thinking about all the time. I'm trying to keep moving things forward. It is a waste of Jim Phillips' time. It is a waste of Michael Alford's time, of Mike Norvell's time. The principal players that will be in Charlotte that are involved with the court cases and things like settlements and will you win, they are not going to be speaking. And
that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
I think that like the will you settle and all those things, I just don't think that not much air is going to be given.
That's what they should do. If the ACC really wanted to have a fun time, they would bring in a team of legal experts. They would bring Michael McCann in from Sportico. Right, we talk to legal people all the time about this when we have let's talk about it today. We'll bring in like David McKenzie was on earlier this week to talk about the lawsuit and all. That would be hysterically fun riveting conversation for people, even if most of us don't truly understand it. Let me ask you about Florida State on the football field with DJ Uiagalelei back in the league. I think that adds a little bit more spice to ACC football this year.
Without a doubt. His exit from Clemson, do you remember some of the comments that he had about Clemson football?
I don't, but I'm sure they were fantastic.
When he landed at Oregon State,
right?
He had some pointed comments about feeling like he wasn't really being used correctly, feeling like he wasn't really put in the kinds of position to succeed. I'll dig up the exact quotes before we get to media days, but he had some criticisms that are not different from some of the criticisms that a lot of people have had of Clemson's offense in terms of, not really adapting to the personnel that you have and maybe trying to fit a little square peg round hole at times, or maybe even with your recruiting practices, the kinds of players that you've tried to get at certain positions, potentially trying to replicate previous successes. But I will say that the expectation inside Florida State, and I apologize if I've said this before, but my understanding is that inside Florida State, they are not looking for DJU to take another step. They are not looking to unlock something magical in DJ Uiagalelei. I think they like Brock Glenn, their young quarterback. I think they like Luke Kromenhoek, a true freshman.
So
who they just
DJU might not even be the guy?
No, that he's a bridge. And that's so many times in the development of a college football roster, especially when you're trying to compete for championships, sometimes you just need that experienced bridge, somebody who can go out there and play within themselves and execute. You're not going to put too much on his plate. You're going to try to allow him to let everyone else be good. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but you pulled together, Mike Norvell, yet another 20-player transfer class. Well, guess what? 5 of them came from Alabama. And I expect at least 3 of them to be significant players. Roydale Williams at the running back position, Malik Benson at the wide receiver position, the whole Tuscaloosa South jokes that were going on in the early portal days. That is why DJU just needs to get in there and set those skill players up to be successful. There are still questions about this team in general, but it's one of the best rosters in the ACC. It is a team that is rightly one of the top picks to win the ACC, but it is not because of DJ Uiagalelei. And at Florida State, they are not asking to all of a sudden see DJU take another step. The player who it was in a top 3 in his recruiting class with Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. That was the top 3 quarterbacks in his recruiting class, and he's still playing college football. You're not asking him to all of a sudden take the jump to Bryce Young, CJ Stroud levels. You're just asking him to be the best fifth-year DJU that he can be.
I wanted to move on to something else, but there's so many things about the DJU, the way you've just described it. To me, he's more like, I don't know how other people looked at Jordan Travis last year, but I looked at him as somebody like just drive the car, keep it on the road. That's really, let everybody else do all the work, but just keep it on the road. If we can do that, and he certainly has the ability to make plays, and I think DJU certainly can do that. My recollection was that at Clemson, they thought he was going to be this super dynamic runner, and really he wasn't. He was more of a thrower. He just didn't have what to throw to. That certainly didn't help. I mean, again, my recollection of these things is not nearly as good, not even in the same galaxy as yours, Chip Patterson. But I am looking forward to that. Let me ask you real quick, because I wanted to get to at least one other thing. And look, we all have burgers and dogs to throw on the grill. Is Virginia Tech coming back?
Oh, yeah.
Like, of all the things that the ACC could hear, yes, it would be nice if Miami showed up, but at this point, they're a sideshow. One of the most important parts of ACC football would be Virginia Tech coming back and being a player in the upper, we have so many teams in the league now, upper 15% of the conference. How many teams is that now? That would be like almost 3.
A top 5. Let's just say a top 5. Virginia Tech being in the mix.
Has to be.
to play for a conference title at the start of November. That's sort of my line in the sand. When we start those critical final 3 or 4 conference games of the year, are you mathematically in the mix and are you realistically in the mix? And I think the answer for Virginia Tech on both cases is yes. Wow. The buzz comes from something that looks like it is being built the right way. And I know it's only year 3, but year 1, you go out and it doesn't look good. Only 3 wins and the team is just like decimated. Justin Fuente did a complete disservice with the way that he treated the transfer portal and the roster building process. Well, Brent Pry did something that was so impressive in that he went out and he got a bunch of transfers to help him in year 2, which would be last season. And then they kept them. This is a group that returns tons of production, some of the most returning production in the ACC. And what happened last year? They go from 3 wins to 7 wins, but it's not just that. They won 5 of their final 7 games. And every single win last year for the Hokies was by 17 points or more. When Virginia Tech won, they weren't getting lucky. They were beating the pants off the opponent. And that is the sign of a group that is getting better, of a group that is learning how to win, and a group that can take the next step. Their quarterback, Kyron Drones, is maybe one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC. I mentioned that some of their talent at wide receivers, defensive line, guys that were transfers last year, now their second year in the program. The coaching staff has stayed together. There were players that they were getting sniffs from other programs, and Virginia Tech was able to retain it. I talk about this all the time. When it comes to the transfer portal, sometimes roster retention is as important as trying to go to the portal and get new players to add to your roster. When you're bringing back everybody, when you finished the year strong, when you took that great step in year 2, that's why there's a lot of buzz for Virginia Tech going into this year, as well as a very, very favorable schedule where if you can take care of business against Rutgers, no, not Rutgers, doesn't count for the ACC. If you can take care of business against Miami and Georgia Tech, if Virginia Tech can take care of business against Miami and Georgia Tech, then they are in the mix for a spot in the ACC title game.
I'm here for that. I am here for Virginia Tech being a player again in this league. I think they add a ton to it. The passion, the Thursday nights at Lane Stadium, let's get more of it. I think the ACC needs their football brands to be good because that makes everybody else good. This is the real rising tide lifts all boats. When your football brands can add something to the mix, it makes everybody better. So I will close on this. We like to just throw in something about golf. It's a long holiday weekend. I hope everybody gets out there and plays at least 9 holes someday or goes to the putting course. So when Rory McIlroy meets the media for the next time.
Scottish Open, right? That'll be the next time?
I think so. I mean, I don't know that he's playing. Is the Irish Open this week too? Scottish Open is next week. It's a joint PGA Tour, DP World Tour event
and
anyway.
He's the champ. So I think he's showing up as the...
Well, he's definitely, he'll definitely play that. He's always going to play the Scottish Open so he can get some competitive rounds under his belt before the following week at Troon. What's that press conference going to be like?
I think that he will, with all the time to prepare for it, I think he will be very measured. And I think that he will offer... I think he will offer a very human look. I mean, one thing that Rory does that wins over so many in the golf world is let you in.
Right.
And I think he will let you in on one of the lowest emotional moments of his career.
Uh-huh.
And I think you're going to come out of that press conference feeling for him. And if you were angry about the way he handled it, you will not feel that. And if you had sympathy for him in that moment, then that will only be deepened. I expect that when Rory McIlroy returns, that press conference will be fine. If he is in the last group or the penultimate group at Troon on the 71st or 72nd hole,
I'm telling you.
Might be different feeling. I don't know. Monday of that week, so much happened. I mean, Monday of that week, he got undivorced.
That should free your brain.
That's what I'm talking about. Like the roller coaster that he was on all throughout that week. And, he goes really low Thursday, then kind of gives a couple back, not really a great Friday, and just sort of everything all packed into it. Of course, culminating with the poor play and poor decision-making on the final 4 holes. I just think there was too much weight. I keep waiting for the news item. Rory McIlroy and Harry have parted ways. I keep waiting for that. No, listen. It's not going to happen. No, because he needs a caddy who's shorter than him. He can't. Rory can't be with one of them Ted Scotts. It only makes him look more like a wee little lad. He is a wee little lad. Who cares? I know he's a wee little lad, but I'm saying when he's with Harry, it is not accentuated as much. I'm trying to think how wee he is. My man Mike Hicks is under is like 5'9". That's okay. You can't be 6'4". Right? You can't be 6'4" and caddy. You can't be like Damon, what's the guy's name, who caddied for Zach Johnson. He was a big dude. Anyway, Chip Patterson, happy America's birthday to you and yours, and I'll talk to you next week. It's always awesome when we come back. One-timers, Jordan Martinook in about a half hour. Next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
The 2024 Atlantic hurricane season is predicted to be among the most active we've ever experienced. Prepare your home now against power outages of all types with a Generac home standby generator from Alternative Power. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, helping protect you and your family. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac home standby generator. Terms and conditions apply. See more at alternativepower.com. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts.
Everyone goes through tough times, and everyone can get through them, as long as they don't have to do it alone. Dial 988 if you need someone to talk to. Get what you need to get to a better place. Together, we'll find the care that works best for you. We're here 24/7. Call, text, or chat 988. 988. Let's get through it together. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Trust ACT Construction Equipment and Avant Articulated Loaders for the right equipment to help get your work done. Avant makes the most multifunctional loaders in the world. Whether you're a landscaping pro or homeowner serious about property maintenance, you need an Avant loader. ACT Construction Equipment is your authorized Avant dealer for sales, service, part, and rentals. Visit one of our 7 locations or actce.com for more details about Avant Articulated Loaders. ACT Construction Equipment, always the right equipment for the job.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell is known for flavors that push the boundaries of taste. Our oatmeal cream pie ice cream is an oatmeal-flavored ice cream with hints of brown sugar mixed with soft oatmeal cookies and a vanilla icing swirl. We've set the bar sky high for deliciousness.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Virtual healthcare is changing the way that traditional medicine is being delivered. Ironically, treating some people from afar is actually increasing access to medical health. Dr. Matt Anderson is with Charlotte-based Advocate Health, a member of the North Carolina Healthcare Association. He says telehealth is enhancing the ability of doctors and nurses to treat more people in better ways.
What we've really tried to do is build out that infrastructure from a virtual standpoint to enable us to better impact the health of our communities in a more convenient, simple, and easy way.
Learn how telehealth methodologies are not only saving people money, but how virtual medicine is transforming lives and the health of our communities. I'm Christine Bellino. Join me and my guest, Dr. Matt Anderson, for the latest edition of Conversations on the State of Healthcare, produced in partnership with the North Carolina Healthcare Association. And for more information, listen to our podcast on the North North Carolina News Network and visit nchealthcare.org.
The North Carolina Zoo is celebrating 50 wild years in 2024. Voted top zoo in the nation, the North Carolina Zoo is centrally located in Asheboro. Bring your family for a day trip or a weekend excursion to connect with nature and make cherished memories. Discover towering giraffes, a herd of elephants, a crash of rhinos, and a flock of seabirds. Plus, ride an endangered species carousel and stroll through the exotic butterfly garden. Plan your next outdoor adventure at nczoo.org.
This is Adam Gold.
Thank you very much for your time, man. We will talk again.
Adam, anytime for you, my friend.
Thank you. I don't know why it makes me laugh. Why does it make me laugh?
I don't know. Maybe you just are used to people being mean to you or something, like Twitter. I don't know.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria's here. Jordan Martinook will join us in about 30 minutes. He is one of the two survivors, right? He and Jalen Chatfield, of all the unrestricted free agents, the only two that still had a seat when the music stopped. We'll see when was the last time Jordan Martinook played musical chairs. I don't know. But we'll have some fun with Jordan Martinook. We always do.
Yeah, he's fun just in general.
Yes. So we'll talk to him again about 1:15 today. All right, let's do one-timers. We should do that.
All right, well, kicking things off. So, ideally, what kind of players do you think the Canes still probably need to fill some gaps?
I mean, they need goal scorers.
Before and after
flat out. They need people who can score goals. So what they have done is they have fortified the bottom of the lineup, and they have given themselves some organizational depth. I like what they did on the blue line. I mean, I do. I mean, you're never going to be as good when you don't have Brady Shea and Brett Pesce anymore, and you have another year for Brent Burns. But I think the Hurricanes did a very good job of like not fixing, but stocking the blue line. I think Sean Walker's a good third pair defender. Shane Gostisbehere is, to me, a dynamite power play guy. You need that. Need another. He's a lefty, but that's fine. There's a lot of great power play guys who are also lefties. Victor Hedman's a lefty. So, not comparing Shane Gostisbehere to Victor Hedman, but he's a lefty too. So, I like that, but they need guys who can score some goals. So, it's either Martin Necas or it's somebody you get for Martin Necas in a trade. So, that has to happen. Remember, you lost not only Jake Gensel off last year's team, you also lost Teuvo Teravainen and Stefan Nason. You lost, what did I come up with? Like 50 power play points?
Yeah.
Off last year's team?
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot to replace.
Yeah. Well, looking at just kind of the free agency and other teams, do you think that what team do you think is maybe at the best advantage after seeing who they've picked up and whatnot from free agency Monday? Around the league, anyway.
Nashville got significantly better.
Yeah, they did.
So Stamkos, Shea, Marchessault. Marchessault, I think, is kind of, maybe on the backside. He's not old, but I think that he hasn't been as good over the last couple of years. But I do think that adding Stamkos, who's going to have a point to prove now, that was very good. I know it's going to sound weird, and they've lost some guys. Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no joke. Florida keeping so many of their best players. Yeah, they lost Montour, they lost Ekman Larson, but they're still pretty good on the blue line.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I mean, Lundell is a dynamite player.
Yeah.
But, the fact that Florida was able to keep Sam Reinhart for under $8.5 million is remarkable to me.
Oh, yeah.
Remarkable to me, because that's a contract that could have gone into free agency and gotten between 9.5 and 10 just because he just scored 57 goals. So really good. And he's a dynamite two-way player. Reinhardt's a penalty killer too. So that's even better.
Well, I guess that Florida State income tax just kept him there, too. Yep. Now, do you think teams have an advantage when they bring on players from other teams that maybe were in the same, division, conference, or is it just fair game?
Nah, I don't. There's no advantage if there's familiarity within a team. I don't look at it that way. There's familiarity if the system is the same. Or if you're playing for a coach you used to play for. But, I don't think it really matters where.
Okay, so moving on to the NBA, do you think there's extra pressure for old Bronny James with LA with all this attention? And also people, saying, earn? Did he really earn it?
Yeah, this is by a million miles the most scrutinized 55th overall NBA draft pick ever. Everything he does or does not do will be magnified, and I feel bad for him because of it. He has certainly received more as a result of who he is than other players would have received. Like, seriously, a 4-year guaranteed deal, no 55th overall pick gets that in the NBA. But with that is going to come a lot of criticism. He's going to have to deal with it.
All right, and going to ACC football. Do you anticipate FSU representatives saying anything during ACC kickoff? If so, what?
Nope, nothing. The only thing said about it will be from the commissioner, and that'll happen at the commissioners' forum, which I believe will be that Monday. Other than that, Florida State's head coach, Mike Norvell, isn't going to say anything. Their players aren't going to say anything. Even if there are any administrators there for Florida State, which I doubt there will be, they wouldn't say anything either. It's just going to be media and the commissioner talking about this. But it will be talked about, for sure.
Raleigh to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event when Dave, the sales guy, asks, want to test drive the Rogue? And I'm like, let's go. We're driving when Dave says, check out the VC turbo engine. I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Dave goes, if you think that's cool, watch this. Dave shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty impressive fuel economy. Dave mentions, these new cars are going fast. And in that moment, I had to have that Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Sentra.
Get up to $1,000 July 4th bonus cash on select 2024 Rogue trims. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. $1,000 July 4th bonus cash on 2024 Rogue Platinum. $500 July 4th bonus cash on 2024 Rogue SV and SL trims. Available on lease or purchase from new dealer stock. Contact dealer for details. N7824.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
What are you doing? Eating caviar. Yuck. Get this. Supreme 7 scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have the best odds to win $400 with a $4 million top prize. So I'm learning to enjoy rich people stuff. Okay, let me try. Gross. What's next? Ballroom dancing. Huh?
I'll lead.
New Supreme 7s, a shot at supreme riches. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.18. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Window Nation can help beat the heat in your home with a buy two, get two free offer on insulated, energy-efficient windows, plus 0 down and no interest or payments for 2 years. Schedule an in-home estimate now at 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I can't do it. I want him in the Hall of Fame. I believe Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. But particularly as someone who grew up worshiping Joe DiMaggio based upon my family and everything else, the title greatest living ball player means something different. You are the standard bearer for Major League Baseball in every way, not just how good a player you are.
I think that's right.
I can't go there.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. Speaking of Barry Bonds, there was something very interesting to me on Twitter today, and it triggered a little bit of some negativity, not necessarily toward me, but
it's easy to do on Twitter.
It absolutely is. There's. We have these clubs in sports, and I'm not talking about teams. I'm talking about groups of players who have achieved something. There's the 600 home club in baseball or the 500 goal scored club in whatever it is in hockey. So the 300 home run, 300 stolen base club in baseball. And this a baseball Twitter follow that's actually very good, put it out and brought up there's only 8 players who have achieved both in their careers. Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonds, his dad, Willie Mays, Alex Rodriguez, Andre Dawson, Carlos Beltran, Reggie Sanders, wow, that's a blast in the past, and Steve Finley. So I just pointed out that of that group of 8, only 2 are in the Hall of Fame. Mays, who just passed, and Andre Dawson. None of the others are in the Hall of Fame. Of course, Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez are 2 of the 5 greatest hitters in the history of the sport. But it's very likely that neither will ever be in the Hall of Fame based on their connection to steroids. And I am not using that as a criticism. I'm just saying that seems to be a truism. No matter how good both were. Like, on the merits, there has never been, nor will there ever be, a hitter the like of Barry Bonds. You can assign whatever meaning you want to what he did. Greg Maddux was at some sort of an event like this past weekend, or maybe it was last weekend. I saw the clip. It was great. He said, actually, Barry Bonds was one of the easiest players ever to pitch to. He just paused for a second. He goes, because you just walk him. Like, I ain't even trying. You can't pitch to him. He hits everything. So I'll just walk him. So it was obviously a joke, but that's the way pitchers, like in many cases, dealt with Bonds. You just couldn't get him out. I understand the steroid issue. I get it. I don't disagree with anybody's anger towards him at all. I feel it too, because I think the game's records are cheated based on what he did. But as I have pointed out, or tried to several people, just take the 9 or 10 years prior to 1998, or prior to 1999. 98 was the McGuire-Sosa home run, battle.
Yes.
Which was one of the great. Look.
Oh, so good.
In retrospect, we could all be upset that we were so taken by it because it was so obviously steroid aided.
Mm-hmm.
McGuire and Sosa both were juiced beyond belief. But it was still one of the greatest things we'd ever seen as sports fans. My God.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't had anybody do 60 home runs in however many years. Now we got two guys who are just blowing it away.
And at the time, there's no streaming services, so.
Right. Like, there were so many things that were important about it. I was in Baltimore. Remember the strike of 1994?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, what an impromptu baseball conversation we are about to have. So I was in Baltimore working for WBAL, which is the flagship radio station of the Orioles. And coming out of the work stoppage, the strike in the 90s, baseball was in a bad place. There was a lot of anger towards the game, towards the towards the players, never as much towards owners, which I don't understand, but that's me. And Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's streak for consecutive games played. And it was the perfect way to kind of get baseball fans feeling kind of good about baseball again, because it was the type of a record where you just show up and do your job, like so many people have to do on a day-in, day-out basis. So it was like, this isn't about necessarily being great. Obviously, Cal was, but it's about showing up every day, being accountable, being a good teammate, all of that. And then, a couple of years later, we get McGuire versus Sosa. There is nothing in sports like the home run. There isn't. And we had, in the summer of 98, one of the all-time great duels. They played off of one another. It seemed like they almost became like friends as a result of it.
Yeah.
Again, in retrospect, we can go back and talk about how damaging it was, whatever. But it was electrifying and it brought people back. But the best player in the sport at the time was Barry Bonds. And there is no second place to that. He won the MVP award in 3 out of 4 years previous. His numbers, if you look and you stack his numbers, because the reason I brought this up was the soundbite we had coming out of the break was Mike Greenberg from ESPN talking about, I can't call him the greatest living ball player, even though he was, because of what, the steroid thing. I get it. I get how people feel about it. Willie Mays, still the gold standard that we've ever had in the game. But if you took Willie Mays' best run, that was like a 12-year run in the mid-50s through mid-60s. You take Willie Mays' best 10 or 12-year run, and then you look at it's really, I think it was 9 years prior to Bonds getting pissed off because McGuire and Sosa were getting all the attention, and then he decided, you know what? Let me show you what steroids can do for me. But if you took the time pre-steroid, so 1998 and earlier, and you looked at that and compared it to Mays, you would be shocked. Bond's numbers are better. It is incredible how great of a player he was, but because he wasn't hitting 50 home runs a year, he was a normal player hitting, well, in the 30s, but winning Gold Gloves, hitting for a high average, getting on base, not striking out. I mean, he was incredible. But then, because Bonds has obvious insecurities, he wanted to be recognized as the best player in the game. So, you know what? Let me show you. And if you go and you look at his numbers, and I know steroids helps you hit the ball further. He was already hitting it pretty far. What steroids helped Barry Bonds do more than anything was recover. It obviously helped build muscle. He was a much bigger player after the cream and the clear than he was before it. He was more muscular and kind of, what do they call it, sinewy. Right? He was strong but leaner, more like a younger Darryl Strawberry. Got to work Darryl into the conversation at some point. Right. But after that, he became more thick and muscular. I know the urban legend is that his hat size grew from to over 9. I don't know how anybody's hat size could be that much, but I don't really care. But the numbers that he put up when he was obviously a different player after that line of demarcation, those are cartoon numbers. Those are numbers that have never been touched anywhere by anybody. Only part of that can be attributed to steroids. I don't know what part of it, but it clearly enhanced what was already somebody who was trending towards being the greatest hitter we've ever seen. Flat out. It made him better, yeah. But my gosh, he became unplayable. Just look at the numbers. But is he that is purely a decision that is up to each individual person. I have no problem with anybody thinking he should be in the Hall of Fame. I think the Hall of Fame is a museum to the sport, and we should tell the entire story. I've been saying this for decades. The entire story of every player in the Hall of Fame. Yes, Barry Bonds, cream, clear, blah. Pete Rose, banned from baseball, belongs in the Hall of Fame. Banned from baseball for life, for betting on baseball games. This is pretty simple stuff. The Hall of Fame should be the museum to the game, and not everything is great. Not everything is great. All right, when we come back, Jordan Martinook scheduled to join us. Speaking of great, number 48 for 3 more years. Next.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Move your sports day forward.
It's okay to drive an old car. I have one. It's a 19-year-old car. But what do I do when I catch a nail? I just go get the tire fixed. What happens when my oil runs low? I just put new oil in. I don't go out and buy the new car. But maybe it's time for this team in this offseason to go buy the damn new car.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company wants to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers are riders too, so we understand what your bike and gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and we don't get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
It's Lee Come Key.
Welcome back to the Lee Come Key request line. Ready for something with a kick that's still smooth? Talk about a hot time at dinner time.
Crisscross.
This is America's #1 spicy mayo and non-GMO verified sriracha. It's the Sriracha Slide coming at you from Lee Come Key.
Turn it out.
Sriracha Slide on over to srirachalove.com to check it out.
Sriracha real smooth.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
Hungry for flavor and value? Then it's Bow time. Nothing slays the hunger beast like some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. And there's never been a better time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich cravings than now. With Bojangles Summer Sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a crispy Cajun filet club sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a sandwich combo and add your choice of a side. Maybe Bojangles seasoned fries, dirty rice, or Cajun pintos. And to complete the perfect meal, Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone in the family. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? You know you're hungry, and you know you want flavor and value. So, it's Bojangles Sandwich Combo time.
Everyone's trying to become more streamlined these days, so why not you? Adam Gold here from my friends at Travers LASIK and Dr. Lori Travers, the Triangle's only LASIK specialist, and this is your chance to become more efficient. If you are a contact lens or glasses wearer, get rid of them. Plus, Travers LASIK is offering $1,000 off right now and 0% financing for qualified customers. Go to traverslasik.com. The consultation is free. 919-510-6830 for Travers LASIK.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is Adam Gold.
There are people out there that just, you must draft a quarterback.
Yeah, you don't want a quarterback?
Yeah, exactly. What is wrong with you? Oh, you don't want apple pie?
Right.
Come on.
A la mode? No, maybe I like brownies, okay?
I don't want it there.
The temptation.
Yeah, I don't need it. Because I can convince myself, apple's healthy.
Right.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. What do you get for somebody who's about to turn 32 years old? It's coming up in just a few weeks. How about a 3-year contract to stay with the Carolina Hurricanes? Jordan Martinook, in advance of your birthday, happy birthday. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
First of all, a public apology to you for bothering you a few weeks ago, because when we went into the off season, people asked me, and you and I talked at exit meetings. People asked me, what are the priorities for this team in the off season? And there were a lot, obviously, and I put you very near the top of the list because the culture of this team is very much you, the way you play. And all of that. And maybe I'm a little romantic about it, but I'm glad you listened to me.
I'm sure some Canes fans think you're a little too romantic about it.
Well,
but yeah, I know. We obviously did talk, and I didn't want to leave, and it was looking bleak there for a little bit, but I'm glad that it worked out, and I'm back.
Well, I mean, if you can, walk me through the time where you weren't sure, where you thought this is not going to work out.
Sunday afternoon at when I'm sitting in Abbotsford Airport, leaving wedding to fly home, and then I landed, and then it kind of all started. So Sunday night, like up until Sunday night, I was ready to go. Like I was very confident that it wasn't going to work out, and it just kind of came together last minute, and very happy it did. But yeah, it was stressful time.
I would imagine. And look, this is something that most people can't even comprehend, right? In terms of like many people have been trying to find another job or whatever, and that can be a stressful time. But we don't experience what it's like to be, to have be so comfortable in one spot, and then because a contract ends, we have to go on. What were you thinking about as this process was unfolding? What was the month like after the end of the playoff run to the point where, or maybe it was more than a month, to the time that you finally did sign a deal?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of time about gauging your interest and gauging your worth for the most part. So, yeah, I just got off with did a Zoom with some other reporters, and my agent, I've been with him for 13 years, and I can't thank him enough. He was incredible throughout this whole process, just kind of keeping me aware with everybody that was interested and everybody that felt like they had room for me. And yeah, it was just a lot of phone calls and a lot of trying to picture your family. It's a lot different when you have a family. I need to look out for them. I got to figure out where I'm gonna give my family the best life and try and there's just so many factors that go into the process of it all, and I'm just glad. We know Carolina, and we love it, and we've built a home there with friends. So I'm glad it worked out, and I will say that the whole process, you're making life decisions in maybe a 5-minute span, where some people have months to make them. So definitely stressful.
I would imagine it is. The role, or active or otherwise, that Rod Brindamore played in your return.
Very active. Yeah, very active as he was last time. So I owe a lot to that guy. Honestly, wouldn't want to. I didn't ever want to play for another coach, and I hope I never have to. So I thank Roddy a lot for his role in all of this.
Jordan Martinook is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. This is kind of weird, and you might not want to answer this at all, and that's fine. There's a lot of guys who didn't come back. I mean, I joked about this yesterday, not with you, but Jordan got the lifeboat, right? Like a lot of guys. Brady Shea's in Nashville. Brett Pesce's in New Jersey. Steph Nason went to New Jersey as well. Jake Ensel's now in Tampa. Teuvo Teravainen went back to Chicago. What was it like to see all your friends and teammates walk out the door?
Yeah, I could just touched on this too with the Zoom I did, but as a friend of all of them, I'm just happy that everybody got what they wanted, so as a friend, you're excited for them, but as a teammate, obviously you want everybody to stay, and you want to try and keep as many together as possible. So it's it's like a hard, you got to toe the line there, because obviously you miss a lot. We're going to miss some, and that part it sucks. But you're still friends with everybody, and you're happy for everybody to get what you get. But obviously, you wish some of them could have stuck around. But I have all the trust in the world that Tom and Eric and Roddy, we're going to be fine. So I've ever since Tom took over, ever since I got here, we've put some pretty good teams on the ice, and I have no worry in the world that this year will be any different.
Jordan Martinook is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. A former teammate is now a teammate again. Apparently, Shane Gostisbehere and you hit it off. Maybe it's because you both played for a time in Arizona, but he's excited to be back. What was that text like?
Yeah, it was pretty simple. It was just I'm back, and it was hard because, like you said, we were losing all these guys, and it's hard to see your friends go. But then when you get another one back, it's pretty cool. So me and Ghost had a great friendship when he was here for the short time, and both have a love for French bulldogs. I think he's got 3 of them. I got mine, and yeah, he's hilarious and a great guy, and obviously a great player. So welcome back addition for sure, and can't wait to get him back here and get playing with him again.
I appreciate that two teammates can bond over the love of the same breed of a dog. What is it about a French bulldog that is so special? Like, I love all dogs. I have a Weimaraner and I have a Corgi. Those are very different, but what is it about a French bulldog?
Well, once you're around French bulldogs, and I'm around a lot of them because ever since we got ours, and my mom got one, and my sister-in-law got one, so they are one of a kind animal. They are part human, pretty much. So they're just hilarious to be around. So,
all dogs.
I found out he had 3, but no, they're a little different. I'm stuck.
What do they eat with a fork?
To,
yeah. Is that what the French bulldogs do? They eat with a fork. They drink out of a glass. How are they part human?
Much. Well, they sleep on their backs, right in between you on the pillow. They snore. My dog can talk a little bit.
Nice, very nice. Yeah. He speaks French, I would imagine.
Yeah, he does.
You probably don't understand. Do you understand anything he says?
No, I speak his language with him.
Very cool. All right, so you mentioned about building a home. Have you already? Do you plan on moving to Raleigh, or are you going to spend summers where it's much cooler in Edmonton?
I'm sitting on my deck in just outside Edmonton in my new house that we built here, and it's about, I don't know, Fahrenheit. It'd probably be about 55, 60 right now. So it's pretty nice.
Oh gosh.
Little rainy, overcast, but yeah, our plans won't probably change unless something drastic happens. But Edmonton, or I guess Sherwood Park, will always be home, but Raleigh's definitely a close second home.
Jordan Martinook is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. All right, so now it's up to you to, because I'm putting you in charge. Let's get Seth taken care of, Jack taken care of, and we need you and Andre to get in Martin Natchis's ear. Like, bro, we need you here.
Yeah, no, I just with all the craziness, all this going on, I haven't really talked to Netchie too much, but he's a good friend. So, I'm hoping we can keep him around and keep him here. So I'll be having those conversations for sure.
You guys developed, I think, in the postseason, a ton of chemistry. You guys combined for some of the best goals that we saw in the postseason.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I just want him here. I don't need to play with him. I just want him here because he's obviously a game breaker. He's an unbelievable player, and you don't want to lose people like that. And he's a good friend.
I've loved watching him play. I've loved covering him. I think my view on his personality is that he really does want to be great. There are some players that I don't necessarily think that burns in them. They just are or they aren't. I think he knows he's got talent. I think he wants to be great. We need 25 goals from you this year, though. And Jordan just dropped out because he's tired of me talking to him, which is fine. If we can get him back, because I do want to ask him that one final question about. We got him? Are we back? There he is. All right.
That's my bad.
No, it's fine. Final thing for you. We need 25 goals from you this year.
Okay. Done.
All right. That's exactly what we wanted to hear. Congratulations. Whoa, my microphone just fell away here. Any advice for us? Anything you want to say to us? And then we'll let you go and get back to your kids and your deck and your 55-degree weather that I am absolutely jealous of.
No, I just want to say happy to be back, and I wouldn't want to play anywhere else. So just happy to be back, and I felt you've been a big supporter of me, Adam. So I just appreciate it. Hope to prove that I'm worth it.
Oh, you are. But we do need 25 goals though. So that's
good.
All right. Yeah, of course. Jordan, have a great summer. I'll talk to you when you get back to town.
Sounds good. Thanks.
You got it, man. Take care. Jordan Martinook here on the Adam Gold Show. 25 might be asking a little much.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe.
But he could do it. Maybe.
I mean, 13 and 14 the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So, but he's not a guy that is asked
right
to score a ton of goals. But he is one of those players that generates opportunities to score goals.
He could prevent 25 goals. We've seen him do some crazy prevention, puck prevention.
No, well, yeah, he saved a goal in game, the game that ultimately cost them, right? Game 6. He saved a goal late.
Down to the wire.
But
he kept us in there.
Look, it's people look at the numbers and they get in their brains what certain things are worth. Jordan Martinook, to me, that's a culture signing. He is not unproductive, but it's about what he brings in a lot of other ways. Stuff that isn't necessarily measured, except it kind of is measured. I mean, again, he is not unproductive. He's not what you want to see in terms of somebody who's theoretically a goal scorer, but he's not. He is one of those depth and energy players who can provide goals. And he has scored some really big ones. In many ways, he is, not in many ways, he is a better version of Brock McGinn, who Carolina loved for many years. And then we saw what happened. Pittsburgh signed him away for 4 years and $2.7 million per, which we all went, oh, that's a lot. But I think Martinook would have gotten a little bit more than that. Maybe not 4 years, although I do think with the contracts that were just thrown around the NHL this, Monday, I think there would have been something like that. But clearly he's a guy that wanted to stay. And I am super glad that he did. All right, let's get to a couple of other things. I mentioned Shane Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere, when he found out that he was going to sign with Carolina, the first thing he did was text Jordan Martinook.
My first text was definitely to Marty. I said, I'm back, and he was pumped. I think he answered in like 2 seconds. So, it's just happy to be back. I mean, like I said, there's a comfortability level being, back in an organization you've been in before. So definitely excited.
Shane Gostisbehere, who will play the left side on the third defensive pairing, and I'm sure will either man the first power play unit or the second power play unit, and it's one of the things he is great at. And honestly, I remember last year when the first time we were getting ready to play the Detroit Red Wings, people would circle Gostisbehere's numbers and go, why isn't he still here? Because he was really doing very well in the power play and otherwise offensively. And think about the goals that Carolina has seen walk out the door, whether it's on the blue line, Brady Shea, Jake Gensel, Steph Nason, Teuvo Teravainen. Going to have to replace offense somewhere, having a power play again that's really good. And otherwise, Gostisbehere should be a productive offensive player. I remember he scored in his very first game with the Hurricanes when they were playing out in Arizona. A guy that is out the door and now in New Jersey, Brett Pesce, signed a contract with the New Jersey Devils, which is not hometown, but if you grew up in the New York area, as Brett Pesce did, it's kind of close.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just a crazy day. At the end of the day, I did always know I wanted to end up here. I love my time as a Cane, and sometimes, just the nature of the business, it doesn't work out. But Yeah, playing close to home for me is something, really important to me. To be 45 minutes from the Prudential Center is it's a dream come true. I played my my youth hockey in Hackensack, so I can't really ask for anything more.
Hackensack is super close to where the Devils used to play in East Rutherford, the Meadowlands.
Ah.
Now they play in Newark, and it's not far away. Nothing in that part of New Jersey is that far from anything. Well, it's far from here, but so in many ways it is kind of close to home. Look, people are going to hear that and go, "He always wanted to be a Devil." No, Brett Pesce's desire, like Brady Shea's desire, like Jake Gensel's desire, like Teuvo Teravainen's desire, was to stay. And in all cases, it obviously did not work out. Some of it is about the money just couldn't match. Some of it is about opportunity, not necessarily for them, but for others. And for others, it's just time to move on. I think that's probably the case of Teuvo Teravainen. More than anything, it was time for Teuvo to move on. I think the organization made the decision last summer that this was going to be Teravainen's final year in Carolina. And I thought it was not out of the realm of possibility that Teravainen would be used in a trade during this season. But they didn't do that. Obviously, Michael Bunting was the guy they used in a trade. I think they were trying to clear some money off the books for the upcoming season. Whether that's good or not, in many ways, you might like to have Michael Bunting back. It obviously cost you Bunting to get Gensel, but they wanted and should have had Gensel still in the fold. And here's Pesce, who gets to be reunited with not only Steph Nason, who just signed, but also Dougie Hamilton, and I had forgotten this, Eric Holla.
Yeah, got a great FaceTime from Nace probably a few hours ago now, telling me he's signing too, so that's awesome. Real close with him, but all know the caliber of player Dougie is. Super gifted. Halsey's the same way. Those are guys that really annoying to play against, and it's nice to be on their side again.
Eric Holla is super annoying to play against. There's no question about that. We loved his first 2 months here, and then his knee injury kind of flared up a little bit again. It didn't prevent him necessarily from playing, although it did a little bit, but it really prevented him from playing the way he wanted to play. And he became kind of, irrational. He wanted a contract. Hurricanes decided, you know what? We ain't doing it. And that brought Carolina Vincent Trocheck. And Holla bounced around. He went from Florida to Nashville and then to New Jersey, and he seems to have found a second home in New Jersey. He's a good player, a very good player. He's got some limitations physically now, but he is a good player. Let me get some basketball in, and we're going to talk more about the NBA next hour. Brendan Whitted is going to join us, possibly in studio, but certainly you'll be able to see his face. Because if it's not in studio, he'll be on video. And if you're enjoying the YouTube live stream, hey, thank you very much for enjoying the YouTube live stream. All right, so Bronny James was drafted 55th overall by the Los Angeles Lakers. And he was introduced along with Dalton Knecht today. And J.J. Redick, after sitting there and listening to Bronny talk, and Bronny had said that I appreciate that what Rob Pelinka, the GM, and J.J. Redick have given me, meaning given him this opportunity. And here's J.J. Redick right on the back of that.
With Bronny, I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this, right? Bronny talks about his hard work. Bronny has earned this through hard work. And for us, prioritizing player development, we view Bronny as like case study one, because his base level of feel, athleticism, point of attack defender, shooting, passing, there's a lot to like about his game. And as we sort of build out our player development program holistically, he's going to have a great opportunity to become an excellent NBA player.
All right, so Bronny James, it was already a kind of a third rail issue for a lot of people. Why are you even drafting him? Blah, blah. You're only drafting him because he's LeBron's son, which, I mean, probably true. Even though it's the 55th pick out of 58 players selected in the NBA draft, so it ain't like he was selected 12th. But he also received a 4-year guaranteed contract. Actually, it's 3 years plus a team option. So, but it's $7.9 million, and the contract, at least the first 3 years of it, are guaranteed, which is remarkable. Because the 55th player selected in any NBA draft generally doesn't get any guarantee. There's no guarantee you're even going to be sent to the G League. So, yes, this is another case where people can go, oh, man, what did he earn? And that's where we bring in Chris Canty of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio.
He earned it based on what? How did he earn this? He had 4 points, he was averaging 4 points coming off the bench at USC. How did he earn this opportunity? If not for being LeBron James' son, how did he earn this opportunity? What is the evidence? Please point it out. Anybody, show me where he earned this. In college basketball, there are 18,000 players in any given year. Only 60 draft picks. There have only been 5,000 players to have ever played in the NBA. How did Bronny James, based on his body of work, what he did in high school and what he did in 1 year at USC, earn the opportunity to be drafted into the NBA? How?
Yeah, well, that was, I'm not going to say predictable. I'm going to say that was a normal reaction that most people would have to the earned, given because of who he is debate. I would point this out. Corey Maggette did not start at Duke. He didn't start at Duke. He left after his freshman year. He did average a little bit more than 10 points per game. He was named an all-ACC rookie. But he didn't start at Duke. And he was, I don't know, the 10th or so pick, 13th overall pick in the draft. He was not a great NBA player, but he was a good NBA player for a fair amount of time. And I remember when he was drafted, how could he declare for the draft? Because it's not about anything other than, does somebody recognize potential? There is zero necessity to have averaged a whole bunch of points or a whole bunch of rebounds or a whole bunch of assists before you get drafted into the NBA. We have had, if you go look, we have had plenty of players who get drafted based on doing nothing really in terms of compiling statistics, especially overseas. But I get Chris Canty's reaction to it. I would say this to him very quickly, just as a person. Let's not discredit what hard work can do. Because if you had a son who was drafted in the 6th round of the NFL draft and didn't necessarily wow everybody during the course of a college football career, but had certain measurables, ran a good 40 time, whatever. Well, the hard work also matters. The amount of time that you devote to training and your craft, that also matters too. So, but I understand he might not be wrong. He's probably got a better chance of being right than being wrong. The Lakers, in terms of percentages, are probably swimming upstream here because the percentages of the 55th pick in the draft making a mark in the NBA have to be 1 in 5 at best. It's probably less than that. So I hope it works out for Bronny. By the way, his dad signed a 2-year contract yesterday. He had a player option for this year, the 2-year contract for basically the same money, 50-some-odd million a year. And it's not 1 year plus an option. It's a 2-year deal. Can't be traded. So LeBron is a Laker for 2 years. Certainly going to play with his son for those 2 years, and we'll see what happens. But if you think that this is nepotism, yes, it probably is, and that is not unique to any aspect of American life. Zero. What your last name is has always mattered, and it always will matter. All right, let's break. We'll come back. We'll stretch. I should have placed bets on all of my bets yesterday.
No.
All of them. But I didn't. Dummy. Next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
ACT Construction Equipment is proud to be your certified local Takeuchi dealer in Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Asheville, Wilmington, and Myrtle Beach. Takeuchi has long been a world leader in the compact construction industry. Let ACT Construction Equipment help you find the right machine for the job. Our full line of excavators, track loaders, and attachments are designed for low maintenance and high productivity. Stop in today for a demo or visit us online at actce.com. ACT Construction Equipment, your authorized Takeuchi dealer.
Turning 65 soon? Navigating Medicare can be overwhelming and confusing, but you're not alone. The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program can help. SHIP counselors can help you understand Medicare benefits to make your best choices. Visit ncship.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And even as the playoffs wind down in basketball and hockey, there's still stuff worth wagering on if you are so inclined. And FanDuel wants to give you incentive to just keep a little skin in the game. Open up the app and enjoy all summer long. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There is something for everyone every day all summer long. Go to FanDuel.com/AGS, FanDuel.com/AGS, and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Must be 21 or older and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Wager requirements apply. Bonuses awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bets or profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including bonus expiration. See terms and conditions at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell has a great sense of timing, like bringing out Southern Blackberry Cobbler ice cream in time for summer. Rich ice cream with luscious blackberry flavor combined with flaky pie crust pieces and a blackberry swirl. The perfect summertime treat.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Virtual healthcare is changing the way that traditional medicine is being delivered. Ironically, treating some people from afar is actually increasing access to medical health. Dr. Matt Anderson is with Charlotte-based Advocate Health, a member of the North Carolina Healthcare Association. He says telehealth is enhancing the ability of doctors and nurses to treat more people in better ways.
What we've really tried to do is build out that infrastructure from a virtual standpoint to enable us to better impact the health of our communities in a more convenient, simple, and easy way. way.
Learn how telehealth methodologies are not only saving people money, but how virtual medicine is transforming lives and the health of our communities. I'm Christine Bellino. Join me and my guest, Dr. Matt Anderson, for the latest edition of Conversations on the State of Healthcare, produced in partnership with the North Carolina Healthcare Association. And for more information, listen to our podcast on the North Carolina News Network and visit nchealthcare.org.
This is Adam Gold.
I got news for you. If I see a hammerhead shark swimming near me in open water,
nope,
we're gone.
Bye.
I'll be on the dock.
I'm done. I've seen Jaws. You can't fool me.
Yeah, I'll be on the dock.
Yeah.
Or in the boat or something. I will not be.
Yeah.
I will not be in open water.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Trying to think how long ago it was now. Actually, I can do that because I can look at the text messages. Back in April, we spoke with a gentleman named Jason Miller, who's an attorney. And he's an attorney that represents UNC tennis player Reese Brentmeyer. She's suing the NCAA because they will not allow her to earn prize money. She's a tennis player. They will not allow her to earn prize money from playing in professional events. The NCAA is no longer even legally allowed to stop you from taking NIL money. We are in the process of starting to, through the school directly, pay athletes, yet she can't, for instance, go play in the U.S. Open and get paid for not only winning, but participating in a match. Everybody who makes the main draw of the U.S. Open gets something. If you win a match, you get more. If you win 2 matches, you get more. In 2021, she won 2 matches, and she would have gotten paid $50,000, basically. And the NCAA said, nope, that's against the rules. A music student on scholarship can go play in a pub, and earn money. Why can't Reese Brentmeyer? I mean, that's a silly one. And an easy one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Who's the kid who played at Alabama? I'm drawing a blank on his name now. The golfer who won an amateur event this year. On the PGA Tour, won an event. First amateur since Phil Mickelson to have won a PGA Tour event while an amateur. Anyway, Dunlap, right? Nick Dunlap. Anyway, he had a decision to make when he won that event because he's not allowed to play PGA Tour events and earn prize money. He had to choose. Do I go back to school, still play some PGA Tour events, but not be able to get money for them? But I won't play in majors. But if I turn pro, I can now play in all these elevated events and the opportunities that are afforded to me because I am a PGA Tour winner, all of that. So he chose to turn pro. Even though he could have waited, still played in a bunch of PGA Tour events, and then just had everything waiting for him at the end. But he decided to turn pro. Why can't you do both?
Makes sense.
College sports would be so much better, more interesting, more watched if we simply allowed these incredible athletes to still participate with their college teammates. Swimming would have been better. Well, it was because Katie Ledecky chose to not turn pro so she could swim at Stanford. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that women's golf would have been better if Michelle Wie was able to play it when she was a player. She was not. She went to Stanford. She lived in a dorm, but she couldn't be on a golf team. Anyway, We're getting there. We're getting there with college sports. I apologize. Stretch.
Okay, so this is obviously about the 4th of July because it's tomorrow. And I read an article, which I know you've talked about, people having 4-day weekends. And there's people who still have to come in to work on Friday that are like, no, Gold, we don't have a 4-day weekend. But there are a lot of Americans who think we should have the whole week off, like not just the 4-day weekend. But 45% of Americans say that we shouldn't even, well, it's probably more, but this specifically said that they'd get more done if they knew that the week of, you got the whole week off. A lot of people say it's a good reset because it's halfway through the year. We should just take the whole week off. I like this idea. Of course, it's mostly younger people, millennials, Gen Zers that say this, but I think most people would be down for like the whole weekend or the whole week, I should say, off. So I don't know. It's, I don't know about that, but I like the way you're thinking. And last, but, well, you know what? We'll place our bets because we got some bets to place.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
All right, so yesterday, I had Costa Rica to beat Paraguay. Winner.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil, Colombia, draw. Winner.
Yeah. Mets,
minus 1.5. Under 9. Close.
Oh.
Mets won 7-2. Yeah. So that ends up being a push. Yeah. I don't know what that means, but I still won 2 out of the 3. So stick with me,
but
people.
But it's all with units, though.
Yeah, I didn't have time.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. Well, the Cubs. What a struggle bus this is on.
Yep.
So, Phillies, they lost to the Phillies yesterday. They're staying in Wrigley, and they're playing again. So, I'm just hoping because Shota's pitching today. Give me the Cubs to please and thank you win. I'll keep it under 7.5. Hopefully, that's plus 225.
All right, let's do this. I'm just going to give you, because it is the long weekend, I'm going to give you all 4 winners from Copa America. Argentina cruises over Ecuador. I like Canada to beat Venezuela. Colombia over Panama, and Uruguay to advance past Brazil. That's what we're looking for at Copa America. Are we do we do one more? Nah, that's enough. That's enough. I have tickets, by the way, on Colombia to win Copa America, but Argentina's probably going to win. That's the way it is.
Raleigh to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my man, Coach Pete Deruta, Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. And as we celebrate America's birthday, let's celebrate by making sure we have enough to retire when we decide that we're ready to celebrate America's birthday every day by going to every national park and every landmark that the United States has to offer. And that takes money. 888-843-0013, or you can text Adam to 600-700. Coach Pete Deruta can customize a total retirement plan for you based on what your needs are, based on where you are on the retirement timeline, and based on what your needs are today. All of these things need to be taken into account. So go to the expert in retirement planning, Coach Pete Deruta. You don't do these things yourself. You go to the experts. That's Coach Pete Deruta. 888-843-0013. Text Adam to 600-700. That total customized retirement plan, $1,000 value for somebody else. Yours free today. Coach Pete Deruta, 888-843-0013.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event when Dave, the sales guy, asks, want to test drive the Rogue? And I'm like, let's go. We're driving when Dave says, check out the VC turbo engine. I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Dave goes, if you think that's cool, watch this. Dave shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty impressive fuel economy. Dave mentions, these new cars are going fast. And in that moment, I had to have that Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Sentra.
Get up to $1,000 July 4th bonus cash on select 2024 Rogue trims. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. $1,000 July 4th bonus cash on 2024 Rogue Platinum. $500 July 4th bonus cash on 2024 Rogue SV and SL trims. Available on lease or purchase from new dealer stock. Contact dealer for details. N7824.
What are you doing? Eating caviar. Yuck. Get this. Supreme 7 scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have the best odds to win $400 with a $4 million top prize. So I'm learning to enjoy rich people stuff.
Okay, let me try. Gross. What's next?
Ballroom dancing.
I'll lead.
New Supreme 7s. A shot at supreme riches. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.18. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Spectrum Internet has enough speed to handle all your needs, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to a gig. Plus, Spectrum's advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security for all your connected devices. Get Spectrum Internet with fast and reliable speeds, starting at just $29.99 a month with a 2-year price guarantee. Visit spectrum.com/internet for you for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Attention soccer fans, North Carolina FC invites you to be part of the excitement. Join us in our electrifying games with top-tier players, thrilling goals, and unforgettable moments. Experience the thrill of this beautiful game with North Carolina FC. Get your tickets now, northcarolinafc.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
The Sixers now have the best big three in the NBA. It's really not close. With the three guys they have now, all of whom were all-stars last year, you got a lead guard in Maxey, you got an elite two-way wing in Paul George, you've got maybe the most dominant big in the league in Joel Embiid. They fit together perfectly. They complement each other in every way on the court. They're versatile. Paul George is an elite shooter. You have two elite shooters now, given spacing around Embiid. They can go out and get any kind of role players that can fit alongside them. They're versatile in a lot of ways. They have the highest ceiling now of any team in the league but the Boston Celtics.
I think Philly's potentially great. I don't know about the Knicks, but I don't hate the Knicks. We're going to talk some NBA free agency coming up in a few minutes. Brendan Whitted, one of our many Mr. Basketball guys, will talk NBA free agency. The Boston Celtics are going to have to raise ticket prices. They're going to pay their top 5 players over the next 5 years like $1 billion.
A lot.
It's just insanity. It is hysterical. Like the guaranteed contracts for their 5 starters right now, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. It's like $930 billion in guaranteed money to those 5 guys.
That is a lot of money.
Wow.
Billion with a B, not an M.
I mean, it makes your eyes water, and my eyes are watering right now. So I speak the truth. All right, let's do a quick wall of sound. Brendan Whitt is going to join us in a little bit.
The wall of sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
Let's start with the WNBA. Real quick, last night, the Las Vegas Aces hosted the Indiana Fever. That's Caitlyn Clark's team. The Aces, by the way, have hands down the best player in the league in A'ja Wilson. She is a cheat code for the women's game. They don't normally play their games at T-Mobile Arena, where the Vegas Golden Knights play. But they moved this one to T-Mobile Arena and sold 20,000 tickets. Mind-blowing. Other teams have done this. Hell, the Chicago Sky would have done this had Justin Timberlake not had the keep it between the white lines tour in Chicago, and they were otherwise using the United Center, but they still drew basically 10,000 fans to that game. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in. It was just an incredible scene, and the Fever just got smoked by Vegas, who is really one of the best teams in the league. But last night, they also announced the WNBA All-Star team that will play against the U.S. Olympic team coming up in the middle of this month, actually just in a few weeks. And those players who didn't make the Olympic team, obviously, Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese will be teammates for Team USA. And here's Angel Reese after they won last night and hearing that she was an all-star.
Well, we won today. We won today, but they just told me I'm an all-star. And, I mean, I'm just so happy. I know the work I put in. Coming into this league, so many people doubted me and didn't think my game would translate and I wouldn't be the player that I was in college or better or would be worse and wouldn't be where I am right now. But I trusted the process and I believed, and I'm thankful that I dropped to 7 and was able to come to Chicago. And it's just a blessing. I can't thank my teammates and my coaches enough for just believing in me and trusting me. And I know all of them are going to come to Phoenix and support me. So I'm really happy right now.
She is a double-double machine. She has 11 straight games with double-digit points and rebounds. The last time she didn't have a double-double was, I think, June 1st. She's averaging 13 points and 12 rebounds. When her shot drops, she scores, in the high teens, low 20s. She's not a perimeter shooter. Everything is around the rim. It is as meat and potatoes as you are going to find in the WNBA. She is an incredible rebounder, defender, energy player, but man, is she effective, and she's having a great rookie season. And she'll be teammates with Caitlyn Clark for the first time in their careers. I am fascinated to see that, but I am more interested in seeing this game, which will get tons of eyeballs.
So many eyeballs.
My gosh, everything that this league is doing right now. And yes, a huge part of this is Caitlyn Clark. But other games are also getting watched more than they ever have.
Yeah.
So what is happening is that people are tuning in to see Caitlyn, and they go, oh my, look at this. That's how, I found Asia Wilson and went, what is that?
Yeah. I just can't wait to see them work together. That's going to be fascinating.
It will be. I hope there's a lot of that. All right, let's get to hockey. We talked earlier to Jordan Martinook. He mentioned getting a text from his former, now current teammate, Shane Gostisbehere, defenseman who Carolina just signed to a 3-year contract, yesterday, 2 days ago. Here's Gostisbehere on the excitement.
My first text was definitely to Marty. I said I'm back, and he was pumped. I think he answered in 2 seconds. So, it's just happy to be back. I mean, like I said, there's a comfortability level being, back in an organization you've been in before. So, definitely excited.
I'm looking it up to see if comfortability is a word.
I know. I'm curious about that one.
Okay, the word
yes.
Comfortability does not technically exist in the English lexicon, but I think we allow it.
We know what he means.
I think we allow it.
I get it.
Right? Yeah, there's no difference between regardless and irregardless.
Right?
It's the same.
Yeah.
So just use regardless.
It's true.
Just use regardless, right? That's but comfortability, I guess.
English lesson.
Yeah. All right. We have a new hurricane. What about an old hurricane? Brett Pesce, one of the many hurricanes to leave the flock this year, go elsewhere. He's going back. He's a Rye, New York native, or is it Tarrytown? Sorry, Tarrytown, New York native, very close to Rye. And he signed with the Devils, 6 years, $5.5 million per season, on what it's like to now be playing in New Jersey.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just a crazy day. At the end of the day, I did always know I wanted to end up here. I love my time as a Cane, and sometimes, just the nature of the business, it doesn't work out. But playing close to home for me is something, really important to me. To be 45 minutes from the Prudential Center is it's a dream come true. I played my my youth hockey in Hackensack, so I can't really ask for anything more.
I'm not entirely sure you can get to the Prudential Center from Tarrytown in 45 minutes. That might be like really late at night when there's no traffic. I'm not sure. I think there are probably also tolls to deal with on the Garden State Parkway, but that's just me and my familiarity with that part of the country. Pesci will also play with Steph Nason and two other former Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, got a great FaceTime from Nace probably a few hours ago now, telling me he's signing too, so that's awesome. Real close with him. But, I'll know the caliber of player Dougie is. Super gifted. Halsey's the same way. Those are guys that really annoying to play against, and it's nice to be on their side again.
And now we're going to get a chance to play against Brett Pesci, along with Steph Nason, along with Dougie Hamilton, along with Eric Halla. And in fact, let's see, when does New Jersey come to town? I know they come to town in December. I'm not sure they come to town any earlier than that. I have to check the Hurricanes schedule, which came out yesterday. Hold on. We're going to tell you when New Jersey is here October 15th. The third game of the season.
Look at that.
First of all, the video tribute to Brett Pesci.
Oh, my goodness.
Should be good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it should be significant. He started here. He and Jacob Slavin showed up.
Like in 2013, right?
It was later than that. It was like 15, I think. But they showed up just like within a week or so of each other.
Yeah.
Pesci got here first. Slavin came after that. But these were two guys we hoped would be here forever. It just shows you that there is no guarantees in pro sports. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Brendan Whitted in studio with us. NBA free agency, Bronny, LeBron, what the Celtics did, what the Sixers did. Oklahoma City got better. Minnesota got better. We'll talk about all of it next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's the summer of soccer.
Swiderski for Capetti. It's stolen away by Hack. Kept alive by Gaines. A shot. He scores!
All the saves.
Polina with brilliant quick footwork across his 6-yard box to be able to recover and grab the strike from Kubo.
All the goals.
He just sends it back into the area for Swiderski. One touch. He scores!
The Triangle's home for Charlotte FC action. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Hungry for flavor and value? Then it's bow time.
Nothing slays the hunger beast like some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. And there's never been a better time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich cravings than now. With Bojangles Summer Sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a crispy Cajun filet club sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a sandwich combo and add your choice of a side. Maybe Bojangles seasoned fries, dirty rice, or Cajun pintos. And to complete the perfect meal, Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone in the family. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? You know you're hungry, and you know you want flavor and value. So, it's Bojangles Sandwich Combo time.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+, subject to program terms at DewOutdoors.com and 12/31/24, void or prohibited.
Now at Circle K, get 2 Mountain Dews for just $4. That's 2 Dews for just $4 at Circle K. Do the Dew.
It's hot out there, and your inefficient windows mean high utility bills all year long. Window Nation sells some of the most energy-efficient windows you can buy and was recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 windows free, plus 0 down and no interest or payments for 2 years. Stop paying more than you have to. Schedule an in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Adam Gold.
That answer fails on so many levels. Part of me wants to start the answer again and then stop it after each time. Is that a good idea, Victoria?
No.
That's great. Did you do that on purpose?
I did.
You did? All right. At the end, that was brilliant.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Brendan Woodard at HU Cosell on Twitter, in studio, one of our Mr. Basketball guys. Thank you very much. Happy America's birthday.
I know, 4th of July just rolled up, so I was like, you know what? Let me go home for a second. Keep it a buck, see my pops for a minute.
So down here visiting fam, I know you're based in D.C.
Yep.
All right, so we're not going to talk about the Wizards at all. Really, no
I would much prefer to talk about the Mystics.
Right.
Let's be honest with you.
Yeah, well, that's true.
They've been better lately. Haven't been able to hold leads versus Sun and Aces, but gave Asia her worst game. So it's coming.
I love Asia Wilson so much.
Oh my God, so much.
It's ridiculous.
She's so good. She's so good. Her and Plum went nasty. They both went off last night.
I mean, I saw just a bit of it. They ran Indiana off the floor.
Gray being back means Plum can be her natural scoring self and not worry so much about playmaking. That team they struggled early without Gray. That team looks damn near unbeatable right now.
It's just incredible. Yeah. It is incredible. What Caitlyn Clark has done, and I know we weren't going to talk about this, but I want to start here. What she has, for a lot of people, myself included, has given you a window into watching some of these incredible players. It's not like I've never seen the WNBA. Right. The level of athleticism is so different now than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, I don't know how you even describe Asia Wilson. She's not really Durant, right? Because I actually think she looks more athletic than Durant, and she's not as skinny as Durant.
You know who she reminds me of? Kevin Garnett.
Okay.
In where she's working, her on the elbow, the high post.
Everywhere.
and her passing ability. She had 5 blocks last night. The
Yeah.
sort of defensive presence that she is. I think she's 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. She's so comfortable in her role. She's started to take a step back and knock down those 3-pointers.
Yes.
I cannot wait I think it's going to be them in the Liberty again. It's hard for me not to look at both of them and see that they're going to run this whole thing back. I know Minnesota Lynx have been good. The Sun have had their time. But, I mean, I'm looking at Stu. I'm looking at Sabrina Jones. Like, they have their big 3, and you can tell when they play each other, it's going to get ramped up a little bit. Like, I love that. Like, I'm very, very excited for this season. It's been awesome.
I'm also excited for the All-Star game on the 20th.
Yes.
That team against the Team USA is just going to be tremendous. All right. I'm going to start with the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid, I don't know if he's ever going to be healthy. I really don't. I don't know if he's ever going to be healthy. But with bringing in Paul George and Tyrese Maxey getting paid, and if Embiid can stay healthy, is that the best challenger to the Boston Celtics?
I think right now it is. I don't think that this whole thing is settled quite yet. I have a hard time believing Miami is just going to do nothing, right? So far, their biggest signing has been re-signing Kevin Love for 2 years. And if you're talking, about like a play-in team or a right outside the cusp of a playoff spot, and you're talking about championship, because that's their whole thing. You know, he culture, we championships, we tougher, stronger, faster, whatever, right? That whole thing. Well, then you got to get better. Like, you have to have a higher caliber of talent. I think that they've really topped out with Hero and Butler and Adebayo. Like, okay, they're good, but their offense just struggles way too much. Butler's hasn't played more than like 55 games.
Well, that's the problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, he's older. Like, we have to take everybody off the LeBron. We got to take everybody off the LeBron scale. Right. 35 is old, my guy. And when it comes to hooping, you're supposed to be old. It's okay, right? And so you look at that. His just the way that he plays is so intense. You know what? Absolute. Monster on both ends of the court. Not quite as good defensively, but I think he has improved a little bit offensively, incrementally. But he can't be your best scorer, and you think that you're going to be in a championship caliber silver team. You're just not. Like, they have a great defense. Adebayo gives them a lot of flexibility. They have I like a lot of their younger pieces. Jovic. I'm going to mess up all those at some point. But Jovic, their younger player that they got, I think, last year, like, he has shown the ability.
Is he also Nikola? He's a Nikola Jovic.
I think, he's a
We have a Nikola Jovic. We have a Nikola Tovic.
Yes. I'm really.
Stop it.
It's going to be rough for me. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm going to tear these names apart.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mean to do it, but it's 100% going to happen. But they have good pieces. But if you're talking about that next level sort of stuff, they don't have that sort of top. To me, they don't have a top tier level scorer that they can count on. Tyler Hero, I think, hasn't quite been as good as they wanted him to.
He's like a second or third option to me.
And he's been on the trade block for like the last 2 years. And at some point, that does affect. You can be a professional all you want to be.
Right.
If you think that every trade deadline, this might be every time the phone rings, you don't even want to pick it up because you think you're about to go, to Detroit or whatever. Like, at some point, you have to pull the trigger. Yes or no? Is he in your long-term plans or not? And I don't think that that's helped the situation at all.
All right, let's get to the Lakers. What are your thoughts? I mean, there's so many things here. Bronny gets drafted 55. It was the easiest thing in the world to see coming down the road. That's fine. Your thoughts on that and everything else that's happened coming since then?
I mentioned I'm here to visit my pops. He's never made me a millionaire, which LeBron just did for Bronny. So I'm just
he was a millionaire in college.
You're 100% right, and you might
wasn't he worth like $5 million in NIL?
Look, the Sierra Canyon to D1 pipeline. That nobody's going broke. Okay, I think Baycott just announced on Theo Pence's podcast.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, he just made like a smooth $2 million. bet money, my guy. It's going to be more than your rookie contract.
Good
Fantastic.
for him, man.
No,
Good
it is.
for him.
And he was a hell of a player. It would have been the most hilarious thing in the world if they drafted Bronny and then LeBron was like, okay, I'm going to leave free agency. Thanks, guys.
Durant and the Suns.
I think the most telling thing about him re-upping for that 2-year, $100 million is the fact that it happened after Clay came off the board.
Right.
And there was talk about whether or not he would be willing to take less money. He's only done it once, and that was for the Miami Heat. You don't become a billionaire by taking less money a lot of times.
You don't.
I've noticed that. But it was once Clay comes off the board, it happens almost pretty much immediately. I thought that I thought he was going to be with the Lakers. I did, between the ties with his father, with Clay Thompson's father, and just look, you know what you get in Clay. I know it's not necessarily the same version, but keep in mind he was 18 points per game last year, 38% from three on a high volume. That's not bad, right? Like, just because you weren't what you once were, can he be the number 2 scorer on a championship team anymore? No, he can't. But you saw even during stretches, whether or not he was coming off the bench or not, he still was a contributor. He fits in beautifully at Dallas, by the way. I love Derrick Jones Jr.
Also not capable of playing defense anymore. Oh! Sorry about that.
No,
we'll get to that later.
It's not great,
We'll
right?
get
His
to that
lateral
later.
movement isn't great, but you can maybe put him in some small ball 4 lineups and where he's playing some bigger guys, because he is still a very good physical defender. He just in space he isn't as good.
Yeah, he used to be an elite defender. I do want to get back to Dallas. So once Bronny gets drafted, people lose their minds. Nepotism. Every facet of life involves nepotism. Every single facet of life. This is no different. It is not a unique situation. Was he drafted because his last name is James and his dad's name is LeBron? Yeah.
Probably had something to do with it.
He wouldn't have been drafted otherwise. But
I'm not sure if that's true. I would say that because
there were only 3 players drafted after him.
The general consensus or the reports coming out were that he was telling people not to draft him. Essentially, they were going to teams like you. There are reports of teams.
Why
being
do teams have
interested.
to listen to that? Yeah, look,
because I'm not going to deal with that with a second round player. If you don't want to be here, fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not dealing with a second round player.
So, I mean, the Lakers didn't have to draft him.
Right? No, I'm not saying I'm saying that I'm not sure he doesn't get drafted somewhere else and maybe even earlier if there isn't this larger power play of no, he wants to go play with LeBron.
He had a good combine. We know
he
that.
Did. He had a very good combine.
He impressed with the combine. So people lost their minds about nepotism and all that as though this is brand new to life. And then we just heard Chris Canty was like, what did you earn? What did you earn? I understand all of that. But I thought Redick, and we can talk about JJ as well, I thought Redick pointed out that you earned it from the hard work that you put in. So it isn't just that you averaged 4 points a game at Southern Cal. Like, I don't know what college statistics really get you, because it got Kyle Filipowski a second-round spot in the draft.
Yeah.
Like,
I was surprised he went that low.
I was too, but he does lack some athleticism.
Certainly.
Right? And, I mean, he can be kind of bullied around a little bit, which is no good for a big man.
True.
But
I thought he was skilled enough as an offensive player. There's always going to be a role for that 6. I mean, look, Valanciunas just signed a 3-year, $30 million deal with Washington, and he hasn't been any good on defense in a decade, right? Like, so there is a role. Yeah, can you shoot? Can you pick and pop? Can you space the floor? Hey, man, you're 7 feet tall. Welcome to the league, buddy.
Yeah, but he's got reverse wingspan. He's a T-Rex.
Oh no, he's
that's
T-Rex guy.
That was the problem. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
He's part T-Rex. So that criticism, like, how is Bronny gonna deal with every time he does anything? You know, he misses a jump shot, turns the ball over, misses a defensive assignment. How's that gonna play?
I remember LeBron telling the story, and you can take whatever LeBron's stories are with whatever grain of salt you feel.
Sure.
But he was like, yeah, he didn't want to wear 23 growing up because he didn't want people, thinking about me and that he's my son. Okay, when LeBron James Jr. goes to the free throw line and he's wearing number 8, I have no idea whose dad is. Thanks, Pops. He's had to deal with this in his entire life.
Right.
There is always going to be that chip on his shoulder of you're not as good as your dad. 100% correct. He will never be as good as his dad. He will never accomplish nearly as much as his dad has done. However, I think there is something to be said for learning at your dad's feet in terms of how do you work? How do you take care of your body?
Mm-hmm.
Like, those sorts of things are things that he saw growing up. Like,
the work.
Yeah, the actual work that is involved in staying in the league. There are a lot of people, by the way, there are a lot of number 55 picks that we never hear from again because they just didn't know how do you prepare for this sort of thing. He knows all of that. And so while he might not have the top tier talent of some of these other guys, he will at least understand how the game works and how to take care of yourself professionally. That might get you a long way.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have to perform. But
it's also a tough sample size because he did almost die, right?
Right.
Like, you know what
That's
I mean?
the thing that got me about.
Somebody's got to give him a little bit
He
of slack for
averaged
that.
4 points in Southern Cal. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
He had a cardiac event. Like
Yeah.
he almost died. How many? What? 3 months before college?
Yeah.
Right. What are we doing? Do we forget that? Look, I don't know ultimately how good he's going to be.
Right.
He did get a 4-year contract.
Okay, wow. All right, that is impressive.
That doesn't happen.
That does not happen very frequently
Last
for
year,
second
not
round
this
picks.
draft. Last draft, the 55th pick overall was Isaiah Wong.
Okay.
Who ultimately ended up with a 2-way deal, and I think played in the league this year all year.
Yeah, I think he was at least on a bench for a good amount of time.
$700,000-$800,000, but that ain't guaranteed.
But will be interesting to me is if Bronny, how much time he spends with the big club. Like normally, guys that get drafted,
I don't think he's going to the G.
You don't think? See, like that's my whole thing. Like I don't know because look, as a basketball
if he
player,
has to, I guess he will.
Yeah, he's a good athlete for a guy who's 6'1". He's a good point of attack defender. He looks like he can be a solid catch and shoot sort of a guy.
Right.
He's not, he wasn't this overwhelming offensive presence, but him as a defensive player, yes, that is a legitimate thing that almost every scout that saw him. Yeah, you can be Pat. Look, I think about like Davion Mitchell.
Can he be Kennedy Carter?
Maybe. Honestly, yes. Somebody that comes off the bench and gives you a ton of energy and is just physical and up 100%. Like those, there are roles there, right? Just because you're not LeBron doesn't mean that you don't deserve and can't stay in that league.
Right. All right. I want to let you go get back to your families. I'm just going to extend this here a little bit longer.
That's fine. They ain't doing that. It's
fine. So, a couple of other teams. Let's get to Clay in Dallas. So Clay goes down to Dallas, where Luka Doncic cannot defend.
Nope.
And it really ultimately, that team played great defense, but ultimately when we got to the series against Boston, whether he was hurt or he just couldn't be bothered, it really impacted their inability to win that, to really impact the series. But Clay is definitely on the back nine. Kyrie's never been a great defender.
Yeah.
So right now, their three best, I don't know if Klay Thompson is one of their three best players.
I was about to say
two best players and a significant other piece.
The third best offensive player for sure.
Yeah, so I look forward to, well, first of all, P.J. Washington, and I look forward to
Lively.
I'm a team Derek
and
Lively guy.
They're hoping he's going to clean up a lot of that stuff in front of him. Other part is Luka's got to be better. Like there is just
what is better?
Caring enough to get in the way of somebody, and then not complain about it if you get a foul.
Or is it? Yeah, that was the other problem with him. Or is it he just needs to be in better condition? And then that stuff will probably come.
But that's caring, right? That's caring in the offseason.
How do you
I
get
mentioned
that?
work earlier when I talked about Bronny. And said,
right.
Well, okay. Well, the thing that bothered me was Luka's been a professional for like 10 years. Like he started out when he was 15 or whatever.
At Real Madrid.
And we're still dealing with some of this stuff, and it seems like this should have been cleared up. Now, you could also go on the other end of that spectrum and say because he started so young, he maybe picked up some bad habits and never, because he was the golden child, never got those cleared out. And so maybe this finals can be an awakening. I kind of thought that we had already had that sort of – I thought Luka had done that earlier. Kid and him had talked about it at length during the regular season. But maybe this finals, you got to learn how to win. Go to the well and be denied. You got to learn how to win before you can a lot of times. Happened with the Celtics. Jason Tatum talked about after they went to the finals the first time. He said, man, I had no idea how banged up I was at the end of the season. I have to take so much better care of my body during the season to last into June.
Right.
Like that's not a small thing. It's something that we kind of just take for granted. Oh, they can just play forever. No, you can't. And so maybe Luka learns that this offseason, hopefully.
Yeah, I was impressed with the way Kyrie has kind of turned his whole career around.
Yeah.
He still says, we still have weird comments from him, but that's fine. We're always going to have that.
100%.
That's fine. He likes to hear himself talk.
Absolutely. Yes, I can't believe that he does that.
Right, he does.
As I stare at myself in the mirror
exactly.
on the microphone.
But, he was so impressed. He did not have the series I thought he was going to have offensively. I thought, but a part of that is also, as we transition to Boston, the reason they won the title. I know Jason Tatum's great. Jaylen Brown was the best scorer in the series. The reason they won the title to me is Drew Holiday.
Yep, I can see that.
He's an adult.
Yeah.
You ask J.J. Redick, who his favorite teammate was, he will tell you Drew Holiday. So I thought that what he gave them was a maturity, and he also gave them physical, on-ball defense. Now, they have other guys that stopped Kyrie. Derek White is part of that. But Drew Holiday, I mean, just point-of-attack defense.
It's tough,
to me,
man.
That's the reason.
He's smothering. And I remember when when Milwaukee made the trade, and the first thing I think I came on the show and I was like, they're different. I don't know if they're better.
I hated that trade.
Like I was just like, man, you're doing something with Drew Holiday and kind of, I don't want to say disrespecting, but undervaluing what his contributions are. Dame is a phenomenal player, Hall of Famer, all that. But he has real deficiencies on defense, and you saw it a lot more glaringly when he was on Milwaukee because they weren't used to having to clean up that sort of defense where you're just dying on every screen. Like, oh, hey, you want to hop back in this play real quick, Dame? You know what I mean? And Drew Holiday, he's a good defender. He's a good rebounder. He's an efficient scorer. He's not a guy that you're going to give the ball to, but he's a good catch and shoot guy and can create off the dribble. Like, he does so many things he's a low maintenance superstar kind of thing. Not superstar, but he's that kind of a player that they added. And then defensively, they just went into a stratosphere, and they didn't even need Kristaps by the end of that thing. I mean, like that's the scary. Like if he's actually healthy, I mean that's a tough one.
I'm not sure he's ever going to be healthy, right?
Fair,
but
fair.
Yeah, they ultimately didn't need the uniqueness of somebody who looks like that, who can play like him. Holiday doesn't need the ball.
Nope.
Right? He doesn't need the ball to score. He doesn't need the ball to impact the game.
Which is important when you got guys like Brown and Tatum on your team who do need the ball a lot in their hands. You can't have a point guard that also needs it.
No question. Giannis needs to be healthy, obviously.
Yes.
Milwaukee, have they kind of fallen behind the Sixers and the Knicks, even though they've got a guy like Giannis?
I don't know if they've fallen behind the Sixers yet because you mentioned Kristaps not being healthy, Embiid, Paul George has got his injury history as well. Like you're banking on them both being healthy at the end of the season.
Well, Paul George has to be healthy because otherwise, what's Philly doing?
Exactly, you're 100% right. But they were able to add that piece. There's some teams that I don't know what they're doing. Like I look at the Clippers. And they just added Kevin Porter Jr., who's had his own off the court stuff. Apparently, they're interested in Miles Bridges. I'm not 100% sure of like what the culture is that they're trying to build over there, or what's going on. I don't know if they're trying to, you see Kawhi get injured at the end of every single season. I don't know if it's maybe starting to occur to them that this is you just can't outspend your problem. You need to like maybe fix it.
All right, a couple of more things, then we'll let you go. Charlotte. Why'd you laugh?
You know why I laughed.
Why'd you laugh? What is their future?
If they can't stay healthy, they don't have one. LaMelo Ball. I was.
Well, they need obviously LaMelo, the Ball family.
I was thinking about this though because I can get in the doldrums with the Hornets quickly because it's been disappointment after disappointment. They got rid of Gordon Hayward. They got something for PJ Washington. I like both of those decisions because they weren't going anywhere. Rozier as well.
By the way, Kemba announced his retirement.
He did announce it. One of the greatest. I have to really think about it, but it's one of the greatest Hornets ever.
Certainly in the starting five.
Yeah, he's 100% in the starting five. I was thinking about this in particularly with LaMelo. Sometimes because he's been around so much, I think of him more as a finished product than he is. Connect, that just got drafted from Tennessee, and who I think is going to be great for the Lakers, he's older than LaMelo.
Yeah.
And, LaMelo's been in the league for quite some time now. And so he's not necessarily a finished product, but he has to be healthy. Brandon Miller is somebody that had a wonderful rookie season, was one of the better rookies all year long. Wasn't Wemby or Chet, but was a really, really good rookie. Mark Williams also has to be healthy.
Right.
This is the second season he hasn't been healthy for large stretches of the season. You can't have that. And as I mentioned, the draft picks that they have, 2021, JT Thor, they just waived JT Thor.
Right.
He was the last of the four guys that they drafted in 2021. It was Thor, Kai Jones, James Bouknight, and somebody else.
Oof.
Nobody is there anymore. You cannot miss on an entire draft. You can't have 4 shots at it.
Right.
And then 3 years later, nobody's on the team.
Yeah.
That is a failing of your management. That's it. That is all that is. You could say it's one guy. You could say it's 2 guys. It ain't 4. It ain't 4. And that means that they have to do a better job of getting the right people in that building and keeping them healthy. Because there's been talent there. They just, for some reason, can't seem to stay healthy or can't seem to keep it in the building.
Yeah, look, I don't know where they go. I do know it's tough to get incrementally better in the NBA, right? It's unless you hit on the draft pick, and I think you and I have differing opinions of what LaMelo Ball is.
We do,
right? I don't think LaMelo, like, he's due for one of those big deals now.
Mm-hmm.
If I were the Hornets, I wouldn't. I would be looking to say, oh, who wants LaMelo and what could I get and reset? But I understand the immense talent that is there. I just don't necessarily trust it. And I don't know if it's winning talent. I know it's talent. I know how good he can be. I just don't know if I can win with him.
I know when he is healthy, when he's had these stretches of health, that team runs and plays a lot better. Because that is such a rarity for a long stretch of time, you can't really take it at face value. Because, hey, maybe it's towards the end of the season when guys aren't playing anymore, and now all of a sudden you're putting up empty numbers. Because that is certainly a thing that some fans think, like, hey, these numbers are great. Hey, you're shooting 10 threes a game. You're making 40% of them. You're averaging 24 points, 7 assists, or whatever it is. Those are nice.
Yeah.
Those are very nice numbers.
No joke.
But if it's not translating to wins, is it just, what's it called, a robber in a riot? Where it's like, yeah, you don't have to be George Clooney in Ocean's 11 to steal something if the Capitol building's on fire, right?
Right.
Like is this real skill or is this just something that's kind of make believe? And I think because of his the Ball family past, generally speaking, people can kind of skew him to the side as, he's kind of a joke, he's kind of a circus act,
right.
And always has been. And he enjoys being kind of a star, right? This guy was on cover of GQ.
Yes, he does.
He likes being in front of.
He likes his cars. He likes to break traffic laws.
Yes, he does. He's got to chill with that. Yeah, absolutely. Uber is your friend, bro. It's fine. You don't have to whip everywhere. But I still believe in LaMelo Ball. I really do. My issue was with management, and we had overturn in ownership. So maybe they'll clean house and figure some stuff out. Because right now it's a joke.
Final thing for Brennan Whitted, Greg Berhalter have to get got.
Man, look,
I know you're into it now.
No, but people really remember that. Like
I know.
the Panama, I think the Panama match is really when it just started going all over my timeline, and then
that wasn't really his fault. It was Tim Weah's fault.
Yeah, you can't go out slugging, fam. But people are starting to say, that's attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like there's some of that,
yeah.
And then there's more about like how he wants to play possession soccer that boring. They say that they don't have the people for it. Or I ain't quite there yet. Right. You'd have to hit me up on exactly what that means. But they don't seem to like it. I'm like, damn, homie.
To me, he's risk averse. He doesn't. They're not going for it. I'd rather see them play more an exciting brand of soccer.
When I've heard of this, though, there's also a cultural problem with soccer in terms of like their barriers to entry are too high for other people to get in.
There is a legitimate conversation about the way, it's not necessarily the way we develop, but the way we get people, young kids, into the game. It is, to advance, it is expensive. I can show you. It is expensive to do it. We're going to Denver.
Congratulations to your son, by the way.
It's 2.5 weeks. We're going to Denver. That's not a cheap trip. So, yeah, it is expensive, and it probably does weed some people out. I think that for people who say that's the reason, I think you're missing a giant number of other reasons, but it's not insignificant.
Right.
It is a problem with our developmental system. But I would say that just look around other sports too.
Yeah, I guess
All right, we're good at hockey in the United States now.
true.
And ain't nothing more expensive than hockey. Nothing.
That's real.
Anybody that's had a kid playing hockey, I mean, a stick, they break. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Brendan Winnard at HU Cosell on Twitter. Bison Express. Tell Dad we said hi.
Absolutely.
Nice to see you in studio. We'll take a break. We'll rewind when we come back next.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Some call it overplanning. At Alternative Power, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Generac, it's not just a generator, it's a power move. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac home standby generator. Terms and conditions apply. See more at alternativepower.com. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts.
ACT Construction Equipment is proud to be your certified local Takeuchi dealer in Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Asheville, Wilmington, and Myrtle Beach. Takeuchi has long been a world leader in the compact construction industry. Let ACT Construction Equipment help you find the right machine for the job. Our full line of excavators, track loaders, and attachments are designed for low maintenance and high productivity. Stop in today for a demo or visit us online at actce.com. ACT Construction Equipment, your authorized Takeuchi dealer.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell is known for flavors that push the boundaries of taste. Our oatmeal cream pie ice cream is an oatmeal-flavored ice cream with hints of brown sugar mixed with soft oatmeal cookies and a vanilla icing swirl. We've set the bar sky high for deliciousness.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Virtual healthcare is changing the way that traditional medicine is being delivered. Ironically, treating some people from afar is actually increasing access to medical health. Dr. Matt Anderson is with Charlotte-based Advocate Health, a member of the North Carolina Healthcare Association. He says telehealth is enhancing the ability of doctors and nurses to treat more people in better ways.
What we've really tried to do is build out that infrastructure from a virtual standpoint to enable us to better impact the health of our communities in a more convenient, simple, and easy way.
Learn how telehealth methodologies are not only saving people money, but how virtual medicine is transforming lives and the health of our communities. I'm Christine Bellino. Join me and my guest, Dr. Matt Anderson, for the latest edition of Conversations on the State of Healthcare, produced in partnership with the North Carolina Healthcare Association. And for more information, listen to our podcast on the North Carolina News Network and visit nchealthcare.org.
You could be a wildlife hero. Did you know that when you visit the North Carolina Zoo in Asheboro, your visit supports efforts to protect animals locally and worldwide? The North Carolina Zoo is a leader in wildlife conservation to save endangered species such as elephants, lions, and gorillas. Plan a family-friendly day trip to the North Carolina Zoo and learn how you can save endangered animals from extinction. Plan your adventure today at nczoo.org. That's nczoo.org.
Everyone goes through tough times, and everyone can get through them, as long as they don't have to do it alone. Dial 988 if you need someone to talk to. Get what you need to get to a better place. Together, we'll find the care that works best for you. We're here 24/7. Call, text, or chat 988. 988. Let's get through it together. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
This is Adam Gold.
He takes the hat. It was like somebody who works there was wearing a baseball cap. Takes it off the kid's head and puts it on the hostess station. Just takes the hat off this guy and puts it down.
Excuse you?
Like, that's exactly what I went. Like, excuse me?
Right.
What are you doing?
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria's here. 44 years ago today. Was it 44 years ago yesterday? I think I saw this. 44 years ago yesterday. So July 2nd of 1980, the movie Airplane was released. Have you seen the movie Airplane,
No,
Victoria?
I have not.
Okay.
Do I need to?
Everybody needs to.
Okay, I wasn't sure if this was also like the shark movie you
No,
mentioned yesterday.
I wonder how many people looked up Mississippi River Shark.
I know.
Worst movie that has ever been made, ever, anywhere. Easy. Anyway, the movie Airplane was one of those spoof comedies that until you watch it, it's hard to explain. It is over the top, dry, campy humor, and it is simply one of the greatest comedies ever made. So I looked at there was a thread on Twitter last night about the process of making it and casting it and all of that. It was just fascinating to me. If you go through my timeline today, you'll see a reference to it, and then you could read that thread at A Gold Fan. But Airplane, 44 years ago yesterday, was released. It was made for like $1.7 million. You know what? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in it.
Oh, okay.
He was in it as an airline pilot.
Yeah, and his real name's Lou.
His real name is Lou Alcindor. That's his. But
right.
but he changed his name when he became a Muslim. So when and his name in the movie is Roger Murdoch. But there's a kid in the movie who recognizes him as Kareem, and he goes, "My dad says you don't really try except during the playoffs." So funny to just insert this in the movie. Anyway, he got paid $35,000 to be in the movie. That's it.
Wow.
$35,000. They offered him $30,000.
Oh, he had to negotiate.
He asked for an additional $5,000. He said, because there's this Oriental rug I really want to buy.
Very specific.
And I'm like, 1980. Like, we are already 10 years or so into his career. He's already, chugging towards the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So, yeah, just if people haven't seen Airplane, you should go check it out. It's a great, great movie.
Okay.
All right, we have time for a rewind? Not really sure why I brought that up, but that happens a lot on this program. All right, Jordan Martinook joined us. This will be our rewind. And the first thing he talked about was the uncertainty and not knowing where he was going to be. And he said that there was a time where he didn't think he would be back. And I asked him to kind of take us back to that time.
A Sunday afternoon when I'm sitting in Abbotsford Airport, leaving a wedding to fly home, and then I landed, and then it kind of all started. So Sunday night, up until Sunday night, I was ready to go. I was very confident that it wasn't going to work out, and it just kind of came together last minute, and very happy it did. But it was stressful time.
I would imagine. And look, this is something that most people can't even comprehend, right? In terms of many people have been trying to find another job or whatever, and that can be a stressful time. But we don't experience what it's like to be, to have be so comfortable in one spot, and then because a contract ends, we have to go on. What were you thinking about as this process was unfolding? What was the month like after the end of the playoff run to the point where, or maybe it was more than a month, to the time that you finally did sign a deal?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of time about gauging your interest and gauging your worth for the most part. So, I just got off with did a Zoom with some other reporters, and my agent, I've been with him for 13 years, and I can't thank him enough. He was incredible throughout this whole process, just kind of keeping me aware with everybody that was interested and everybody that felt like they had room for me. And it was just a lot of phone calls and a lot of trying to picture your family. It's a lot different when you have a family. I need to look out for them. I got to figure out where I'm gonna give my family the best life and try and there's just so many factors that go into the process of it all, and I'm just glad. We know Carolina, and we love it, and we've built a home there with friends. So I'm glad it worked out. And I will say that the whole process, you're making life decisions in maybe a 5-minute span, where some people have months to make them. So definitely stressful.
All right, I got one more thing from our conversation with Jordan Martinook, and it is available on the Best of the Adam Gold Show. These things are all on YouTube as well. And I said that because Carolina needs goal scoring, we need you, Jordan Martinook, and Andrei Svechnikov to get in Martin Necas's ear and get him to stay.
Yeah, no, I just with all the craziness, all this going on, I haven't really talked to Netchy too much, but he's a good friend. So, I'm hoping we can keep him around and keep him here. So I'll be having those conversations for sure.
You guys developed, I think, in the postseason, a ton of chemistry. You guys combined for some of the best goals that we saw in the postseason.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I just want him here. I don't need to play with him. I just want him here because he's obviously a game breaker. He's an unbelievable player, and you don't want to lose people like that. And he's a good friend.
That was Jordan Martinook, number 48 for another 3 seasons here. So I mapped it out from Brett Pesce's home in Tarrytown to Newark, New Jersey, where the Prudential Center is. It's an hour. It's not 45 minutes. Unless Brett Pesce has a helicopter. If he does that, then it's less. Although I'm sure there's air traffic control to deal with. Anyway, we are headed to Happy Birthday America. I know for a lot of people, it's a good long weekend of food and drink and fun and family. Be safe. Sunscreen. It's going to be hot. It doesn't rain here in North Carolina anymore. So sunscreen, people. We'll see everybody on Monday. Maybe the Hurricanes will have signed Necas and Jarvis and Drury and 4 other people by then. Victoria, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Happy birthday, United States of America. See everybody on Monday.